Hello and a very good morning to you. You're watching Sewing Street and my name is Debbie Shaw. Now Sewing Street is the UK's only dedicated sewing channel and we've got 4 live hours of nothing but sewing coming up for you this morning. That's going to include a guest appearance by video from Jenny McCreary, who's going to be making a makeup roll. My Lone Star cushion kits are back again later on. There's a little bit of Christmas and a little bit of overlocking and lots of fabric. Now if you'd like to get in touch with us this morning, a couple of ways you can do that. You can send us an email, which is studio@sewingstreet.com, or you can come and join me on Facebook, which is Sewing Street TV. And leave a comment or send a picture or let me know what you're up to this morning or ask any questions that you want to as well. So I'm right here right now, and it would be lovely to hear from you. Where are you in the world? What are you up to this morning? Oh, questions. What is the early bird? Funny you should mention that. When you come and join us at 8 o'clock in the morning, we bring you a special offer at a reduced price for the duration of the day or while we have the stock. And today we've got a metre of fabric. And this is so pretty. It's the old chocolate shop. And every one of these squares on the front are chocolates. What's your favourite one? I like orange myself. I do like an orange. Or depending on what brand it is, I do like those purple ones with the nuts in the middle as well. We're calling this square salmon. I don't know why. It's the old chocolate shop. There's nothing quite salmony, and they're not all square. But it's £7.48 for half a metre of the Lewis and Irene, and for half a metre of the pink as well. They go together perfectly. These are going to be great actually to make the makeup brush roll that we're going to see shortly. We have got some kits put together for that as well. Maybe if you make chocolates, and you can make little gift bags for them, couldn't you? You could laminate them and make boxes. What about makeup bags would be perfect, but you could make an apron. There's quite a lot of fabric here. Now we have had a shop around, and this Lewis and Irene fabric is over £12 a metre. So we've got a great price at £7.49. With a saving of a couple of pounds, that would still be a great price, wouldn't it? So here you go, that's how much you're getting. So you could make 2 waist-size aprons with a contrasting tie around the waist and pockets on the front if they weren't lined. You could probably make 2 lined ones, to be honest, if you had a different tie around the waist. Kitcheny things. It could be something like a tea cosy or your oven gloves and that kind of thing. If you've got a plain blind, you could maybe decorate the bottom of it by putting a border around there to coordinate. Now you can order as many of these as you like, but they are pre-cut. So if you ordered 2, you'll have half-metre pieces. It won't come all joined up, but you can join them up yourself and make a lovely patchwork cushion with those. So again, this is while we have the stock. Now you'll notice as well, underneath your £7.48 that you're paying for these, it's £3.95 postage. The beauty is with Sewing Street that once you pay that £3.95 postage, you don't pay it again if you come back and order with us later on. So it's worth ordering it early bird, get yourself a bargain, and then if you want to come back later and buy a sewing machine, a pair of scissors, some pins, some fabric, a kit, a book, no extra postage to pay. And that's not just the live shows, that's everything that we have available on the website as well. Now, when you go to the website, when you search for us, you need to type in www.sewingstreet.com. When you come to the website, it will say Jewellery Maker in the corner. Don't worry about that. We share the website with Jewellery Maker. And you should see a video with me. Hello. Underneath that video are all of the projects that we have. So that's your search bar at the top. Look, whoever you use. So sewingstreet.com, put the W's in as well, and that's where you will be. When you click play, there we go. And these are all of the products that we have for you from this morning. So if there's anything that floats your boat, all you need to do is to click on it and then go through to checkout. It's as easy as that. There are different categories there as well, so you can take a look at everything else that we have for you there as well. Okay, now I just say Jenny McCreary has made a video for us making up a makeup roll, which could be a tulle roll. So it's really versatile. This is the book that it comes from. It's called Take 2 Gifts, and it's written by Wendy Gardner, who is a very well-renowned and experienced sewer. She's also the brand ambassador for McCall's, so she's very well known. So a fabulous book. and easy projects because it's only fat quarters, so it's only small pieces. Of course, you don't have to go out and buy fat quarters. You could be just cut up fabric that you already have if you like. So lots of information in the front that you're going to be using throughout the projects. And then we've got everything from cosmetic pouches. These would be ideal, that's the roll, for your early bird, wouldn't they? So, because I mean, your early bird is practically 4 fat quarters. So you could make any of these. Oh, yeah, you could embroider girls' weekends and bridesmaids. And are we doing that kind of thing at the moment? I think we're allowed, aren't we? Christmas presents. We've got some Christmas fabric coming up later on. You could have a Christmas teddy bear. Patterns are all in the back that you need as well. So really simply explain, lots of pictures, easy to understand, and great projects for a beginner sewer, or if you're teaching somebody how to sew, then these would, oh, the shorts are sweet. These are, might be a bit cold now, isn't it? What's this morning? I should have brought my coat this morning. At least it wasn't raining. But it was dark all the way into work as well. Nah. So that's £9 and 99 pence, and you've got 16 projects in there altogether. So, okay, this is just one of the, oh, let me have a look at the bundles as well before we go and see Jenny. We have retro, poodle and doodle, but retro chairs. This reminds me of 1960s inspired furniture and prints. So it's pale pink in the background, then you've got this lovely mauve colour. And there's ½ a metre of each of those, and we're giving you some elastic as well because you're going to need that for the kit. And that's £9.99. Again, the pattern fabric is Lewis and Irene fabric. And then the second one, so that one's fun. This one's classy. So we have the lilies, elegant lilies. Oh, and this is one of the samples that was made up. Look, that's that. I'll just show you how it works as well, because you've got this, but then you just roll everything up, wrap the ribbon around it, tie it in a bow. But that'd make a nice present as well, actually, wouldn't it? For, I'm thinking maybe birthdays, Christmas presents, but fill it. So that could be full of pencils and pens and things for the artist in the family, or of course full of makeup brushes for the young lady, or if you're making jewellery, you could have some jewellery making accoutrements. Don't make jewellery. So ½ a metre of each of those, and your elastic for £11.49 for those ones. Then we have, oh, that's your early bird. Elastic with all of them. This is lovely. So again, another really classy. So this is Wildflower Woods, and this is, whoops, how it makes up. So you can put your crafty bits and bobs in there as well. So it could be sewing tools, your rotary cutter. Don't get the two mixed up. So if you're going to have one for makeup and one for crafting, then do make sure they're kept separate, because I worry about your eyebrows. £12.99 for those two, and your elastic. Imagine. And then finally, more Lewis and Irene. This could be quite Christmassy, couldn't it? £9.99 your price here. And you've got your metre of elastics, so ½ a metre, and then you've got your brush as well. And I like the way that they're not too big, because they'll fit in your handbag then. It's like a big tool. We have polywadding in the show for you as well, so you can give it a little bit of oomph if you want to give it some body. This is wash it. We can quilt with it. I wouldn't make a bed quilt. It's not big enough for a bed quilt. I'm thinking table runners, bed runners, wall hangings, that kind of thing, or things like this. Bags, absolutely perfect. It's washable. It's not going to shrink. It keeps its shape. British made, and it's only £3.99. This is what I said about your postage earlier on. You see, you wouldn't buy this with £3.95 postage, would you? That's ridiculous. But when you've already bought your early bird, this is postage free. So that's when it's worth having a look on the website and see if there's any small items that you wouldn't normally pay for because of the postage. Okay, now I did mention that Jenny's made this video, so let's take a look at how she makes the makeup roll.
Hello, Jenny McCreary here, and delighted to be back with you today for a very cute wee project. This book is, I would call this like a coffee table book. It's so cute. And It's got lots of nice illustrations. The instructions are really clear. There's also some really cool techniques at the start. So it talks about, it goes back to super basic stuff actually, even just like simple seams. So it's good for an absolute beginner. Makes a good Christmas present. And they've got like patchwork tips in here. They've got applique, free motion embroidery. They've got some really cool adding bits and pieces, piping. Yeah, there's a lot in here actually. They've got a really cool bit about something you can, like some fancy stuff you could do with a twin needle, which I had actually never thought of before. So there you go, learn something every day. It's a really cute book. It's a good scrap buster as well, because fat quarters obviously, as you know, aren't that big. And what we're going to be doing in it today is this little makeup roll. Now this makeup roll, I've got one here, could be used for stationery. I've obviously used it for makeup brushes here. You could use it for crochet hooks. If you made it a bit bigger, you could use it for knitting needles. It's super handy if you travel about. Excuse my manky makeup brushes. But that wee bit flips over the top and then lets you roll everything. Stops anything falling out. Very cute. Makes a nice gift. These do not take too long to make either, which for me is perfect for a gift, because you end up making a few of the same thing, don't you? So it's good if you can get something that's quick but effective, and this definitely ticks the boxes. It ties up like that. So let's give it a shot, shall we? So you need 2 fabrics and some wadding for this project, and some ribbon and some elastic as well. The measurements of what to cut out are all in the book, so I won't bore you with those details. But you need 2 rectangles out of the main fabric, a piece of wadding slightly bigger than these pieces, and then 2 smaller rectangular pieces here. I actually really love these combinations. I love it when, obviously these were picked for me, I did not pick these prints, but I love it when you put 2 prints together that you think they are unusual and then they just work really well. I think these are really cute. Looks quite designery, I think, and I just love black and gold anything anyway. This fabric reminds me of a dress I had that I think I wore at a Christmas party. This fabric is taking me back to like a Christmas party night. Fabrics and prints do that to me. There's a strawberry print that reminds me of being wee, because my mum made me an outfit out of a white strawberry print fabric. It's so funny. It's like, you know, smells, when smells take you back to like a party you went to, or like remind you of somebody, or like prints are a bit like that for me as well, and this reminds me of good, happy, festive times. So so I'm loving it. Big fan of this. The white is the one that I made earlier, is the white version, so it's kind of metallic. Really nice. Nice stuff. Right, so you need 2 of them, a piece of wadding that's slightly bigger, and then 2 of these rectangles. We're going to work with these rectangles first of all, so I'll just move everything else out of the way. The smaller rectangle gets folded wrong sides together and then gets pressed, so you've got a nice crease in the top there. And this one gets folded right sides together, and we're going to stitch down this edge and down this edge with a 6mm seam allowance. So I'm just going to pop a wee pin in here. Then I'm going to stitch that, leaving this edge open, so don't be stitching that one. So right sides together, 6mm seam allowance down both of these short ends here. I've got my wee assistant in the room today, the dog, and I can't say the W word because she'll go bananas, but she is threatening to go bananas anyway, so hopefully she doesn't bark. So I'm just doing a wee reverse at the start there. And at the end as well. And then the same on the other side. So you'll end up with that. So I've stitched this and I am just going to snip this wee corner to get rid of any bulk. That wee one as well. Then I'm going to turn this out and I'm going to give it a press. So giving that a wee press, and you can give this a press as well if you haven't done that already. Okay, that's all nice and flat, and I've got some nice points there as well. Then you want to grab a main piece and a wadding piece here. Well, you've only got one wadding piece, so the wadding piece. So wadding down in front of you. This goes on top. The wadding is slightly bigger, so I'm just going to put it in the middle. There's a wee bit of an edge either side there, which is fine. So right side up, and with the wadding, I've got the wrong side of my fabric to the wadding, basically. I was going to say the right side of the wadding, but there is no right side to the wadding. It's never to be seen. This, if you have a fabric that has a right way up, a pattern that's got a right way up, I would suggest putting the little flowery flap piece, which is shorter than the main piece, on the top. And again, make sure that you've got the print here the right way up. I'm going to place that in the middle, and I'm going to pin this through all the layers, including the wadding. Like that. And then with the pocket piece, which has raw edges at either side, which is fine, this goes along the bottom edge, and we're going to pop some pins in here as well. There we go. It's looking cute already. I'm just going to stitch along that top edge and along this bottom edge with a 6mm seam allowance. You could, if you wanted to, use your walking foot here. I'm not going to because it's not too bulky, but if you've got it on your machine anyway, you can keep it on there. That is fine. If you've started your Christmas sewing, let me know. I'd love to see what you've been making. And I know some of you definitely have started, because some of my customers have started their Christmas sewing. I know you guys will be the same. So I've stitched along the top. I'm not stitching the sides at all. I'm just doing the top and the bottom here. So they're attached and the wadding is now attached as well, which is what we want. And now we want to attach our elastic. So it's asking us to measure 13 centimetres down from the top and draw a line across the front of this. So I'm going to just measure 13 down. It's quite hard to see the measurements on this because it is black on black fabric. Here. And I'm just going to draw a line across. And then I'm going to double check that it is straight. It is 13 down. 13. 13. Cool, that looks good. And grab your elastic. And this is going to run over this line. So I'm going to be stitching it here and here. I'm just going to leave it a little bit longer. I'm going to stick a pin in either side. So I want my elastic to be right on that line that I've just chalked in there. I don't want it to be tight, but I don't want it to be baggy either. Just sitting nicely on the fabric is what you want. And I'm just going to stitch within the seam allowance. So my seam allowance is 6mm, so I'm going to go for maybe 4mm in from the edge, just to secure this elastic at the side. So be 4mm or so in. I'm just going back and forward over that a couple of times. You alright there? Trying to go into a box. She must think she's a cat. Okay, other side now. Now what it wants me to do is to figure out where I want my channels to be. So on this one, I've made this to fit my brushes, so I knew that these brushes here are chunkier, so they need more space, and these are smaller, so these need less space. So you just want to decide where you want, what brushes or what it is that you want to put in this. If you don't know, I would suggest putting a couple of like fairly spaced out stitches on this side and then some smaller ones on this side, because most people, if it's for makeup brushes, have chunky brushes and then they've got like little thin ones for eyeshadow and things. So that's what I would suggest. I can tell you what my measurements are so that you've got a guide. So what I basically did was I took my brushes and I just put them all in where I wanted them to go. And then I popped a wee pin, or you can just do a wee mark even in between them. So like a stitch to go in there, like a stitch there, there, and I do a wee extra one at the end because I could fit another brush in there. I could fit loads more than this actually, but I didn't want to overcomplicate things. So I'm going to go with this spacing. I'll tell you what the...
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw from Sewing Street, and these are my 5 top tips for successful sewing. So, number 1, always use a good quality.
These are measuring roughly. So that one's about 5 That one is about 5 also. That is 4. That's probably 3.5. 3.5, and then we're smaller. We're at 2.5 and 2.5. That worked out not too bad actually. So you could do that kind of spacing if you want. I'm just going to stitch this. I'm going to change my thread to white, I think, because my elastic is white. I don't want it to be too obvious. And then I'll change it to black because we also have to stitch the bottom part of the channel in here into this little pocket bit. So I'll switch to white, I'll stitch this, and then I'll switch back to black, and then I'm going to stitch these bits, and I'll show you that in a minute. I switched my top thread to white. I left my bottom as black because you're not going to see it. So just the top thread to white. And I'm going back and forward on this a couple of times. I'm trying to stay on the elastic. I don't want to come off onto the black fabric because it might look messy. So try and stay on the elastic. Okay. And we are done. I'm just going to cut these wee threads off. Trying to be good, cutting the threads off where I go. It's not like me. I normally leave it all to the end and then I'm absolutely raging at myself for not doing it as I go. Especially with top stitching, because you always end up seeing that, don't you? Cut them off. And I'm just throwing all these on the floor, and I wonder why my hoover ends up, I have to pull that wee barrel bit out of my hoover all the time and then just cut all the threads off it. I should probably just put them straight in the bin. Okay, so that's been stitched on. I'm going to change my thread back to black and then I will show you the next step. The next step is to cut yourself a strip of ribbon that is 60 centimetres long, and then we're going to fold this in half like that, and then my folded edge here I'm going to just pin and stitch it onto this edge here. So we pin in there, couple of stitches back and forward. It sits just where the elastic sits. So again, I want to try and stay within the seam allowance here, so I'm going to aim for about 4mm from the outside edge. I just don't want to be able to see this stitching on the outside once it's finished. Okay, stitch that in. Oh, we need to do the little pocket bits as well. Let's do that. You have to divide this bottom bit into little pockets for the bottom of your brushes or your pens or whatever it is that you're planning to put in this. And they have to be at the same kind of place as where these stitches are. So I am just going to chalk in. If you want to use an erasable marker, that might be a better idea actually. Let me grab mine. I just didn't think I was going to be able to see. I was using my charcoal liner there because it's black fabric and this doesn't really show up very well on the black, but it will show up on this, I hope. So let's draw a wee line down here. And there. I love these pens. The erasable ones are good as well. These ones disappear when you iron them, which is handy. can pop a couple of pins in this if you want to keep it in place. I might just put one in the centre to keep us right. And then we just want to stitch this, and I would change back to your black thread for this. Make sure you do reverse at the bottom part of the pocket, because like any pocket actually, there's probably going to be a bit of, you know, pulling on it, so you don't want it coming away. So definitely reverse. Reversing at the top is not as necessary because we're going to be stitching over this again when we come to put the back piece on, but you may as well just reverse it anyway, just to make it extra secure. I was actually waiting for, I was thinking I'll wait for a nice day to film this because I've got a big window behind there and it would be nice to get some natural light in. And apparently in Scotland we're just in winter mode now because it doesn't get light anymore. So I've got the artificial lights in. You can probably see them reflected on my specs. They're quite intense, but needs must because it is dark here otherwise. It's definitely starting to feel like autumn, I think. Leaves are starting to kind of fall off the trees. I don't know if I'm finished with summer yet, so I don't know how I feel about that. We were planning all our Christmas classes at So Confident the other day and I was just not ready to be dropping the C-bomb. But needs must. You've got to organise all your Christmas stuff in summer. It's just how it is. All these wee pockets are done. Again, I'm going to just cut off my threads, being nice and neat. My machine actually cuts off the end of whatever I'm sewing, but there's always a wee tail at the start I need to cut. So get rid of them. Okay, done my wee pockets. What I'm going to do with my ribbon here, I'm just going to tuck it in to one of my pockets because I'm about to stitch around the outside and I don't want to catch these in, so I'm just going to stick them in the middle out of the way. Then I'm going to take my other spotty piece, I'm going to place it right sides together, right sides down on top, and I'm going to pin all the way around the outside. I'm going to leave a gap of about that much in the middle of a line, not at a corner, because if you do it at a corner, it means you'll never get a nice sharp corner. You can't really turn it out by hand stitching it, so we're going to leave the gap here. So I'll pin that and I'll show you what I mean. Make sure these are lined up perfectly first. Move that over a wee bit. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to start sewing here. So I'm going to just pop a pin like this so you can see where I'm starting and where I'm stopping. When I start sewing here, I'm going to go round the outside and I'm going to stop there, leaving this gap so that I can turn it all out. We are working with a 6mm seam allowance again. I wonder if the person that wrote this book is a quilter, because dressmakers just don't go for a 6mm seam allowance ever, unless it's on your overlocker, because it automatically does that for you. I wonder. There's a lot of kind of quilty, patchworky techniques in here, so I think it is. It's a lovely book. At the corner, I am keeping my needle in, lifting my presser foot and swivelling the fabric round so that it keeps my place for me. Give me a nice sharp corner as well, that's what I want. Taking my pins out as I go as well. Now I'm back at the top edge again. So I'm only sewing to that pin. So I'm not going right back to where the start is, because then I won't be able to turn it out. There we go. Okay. I'm going to trim any excess off this side here. That's going to annoy me. Just cutting this extra wadding off. And I'm cutting this wee extra bit of elastic off as well. Okay. And then the space I've left is at the top here. So I'm going to pull it all out through this space. And just get all your wee corners out. Okay, this is looking good. I'm going to give this a wee press. And then I will show you how to close this up without anyone knowing that you stitched it. All nice and pressed. I'm going to do a little slip stitch to close up this gap. If you want, you can do a top stitch all the way around, and that has the same effect, so you can do that too. But I am going to just keep this invisible. So I've got a wee knot in the end of my thread, and I'm just going to come in so that my tails are inside. And then I'm going to come across and into my outside fabric here, and I'm going to run along. I've got a bit of a fold line here that I can see, and that's what I'm going to follow. and then I'm going to go directly across from there to close this up. You ends up looking like a wee corset almost. And I'm going in, and then I'm coming out about 5mm along. And then I'm going across again, in, along and out. You can see that's closing things up, which is what I want. So across again, along and out. And when you pull it taut, you can see that it closes everything up without you really being able to see on the outside. I actually hand stitch, honestly, so close to my face. That's why I keep going off shot, because my face is like not on camera. I'm trying to keep you here. I don't know why I hand stitch so close to my face, because I can see perfectly well with my specs on. And with these nuclear lights I've got in here, I shouldn't have to move at all. There is something quite therapeutic about hand sewing as well, must admit. I don't do it that often, but I'm a top stitch kind of person. I like a bit of hand embroidery though. It's very relaxing. Stops me eating biscuits in front of the TV as well at night. I don't really have any hand embroidery things on the go at the moment. I've normally got some kind of project on the go at any one time. Oh, maybe not. We're nearly at the end here. So I'm just going to pull that to make sure it's closed everything up, which it absolutely has. You can't see it at all. And then I'm going to do a wee knot at the end here. I got into the fabric a wee tiny bit. And there we have another little makeup roll. So let's put the brushes in it and see how it's looking. I'll be honest with you, I never use this brush. It came in a set and I have no idea what I'm supposed to use that for. Is it for highlighter or something? It does not distribute enough highlighter for my liking. Here we go. This looks very nice. And then this wee bit goes over the top. tie it in a wee bow. So there you have your little makeup roll from the lovely Take Two Fat Quarter Gifts book, which is so nice. It's a nice wee glossy book with lots of fun projects in it. Nice for a weekend if you're like, I want to do something, but I don't want to do like a 5-hour thing. You can just pick this up and make something out of it. So let me know if you make this. I'd love to see photos of it. And let me know if you make anything else out of this book as well, because I'd love to see them too. You can obviously reach me through Sewing Street, and you can also get me on Instagram at SewConfidentJenny or at SewConfident. So drop me a wee message, show me your makes, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye!
Well, thanks, Jenny. Apologies for the technical issues, by the way. We're all sorted out now. But if you wanted to watch the demonstration back from the beginning, it will be uploaded onto YouTube by tomorrow, so you can watch it again there. Or if you go to our website, sewingstreet.com, where the video is live, you can actually rewind that back again. And, of course, it's going to stay on Facebook as well, so you will be able to see it again if you want to. Meanwhile, let me give you the details again of our Take Two Fat Quarters that Jenny was actually working from. 16 projects in here, and because it's using fat quarters, it means that the projects are small, and small projects generally very simple. So a great beginner's book for you as well. Are you doing your Christmas shopping yet? How about a stocking filler for somebody that wants to learn how to sew? This would be a good one. Here's Wendy. She's got donkey's years of experience and very high heels. And honestly, I don't know if she walks around in it. You see her at the NEC tottering in heels like this. They're amazing. So anyway, she's put together these fabulous projects using fat quarters. Of course, fat quarters just meaning small pieces of fabric, so you can cut down larger pieces. Doesn't have to be a fat quarter. With tips and techniques for you, so there may be something that you can learn from here. Different types of seams and quilting, but these are all the techniques that, or the type of techniques that are going to be used in the projects as well. And said projects are these. So a few different styles of bags. There's cosmetic bags. There's the roll that Jenny's just made. Little pair of boys' shorts, or girls' shorts, basically. Just shorts. A pink cushion in a cup. They're always lovely and vintage looking. A neck pillow that's used for a neck pillow and an eye mask. Then we have a tablet sleeve. Retro purse. Patterns are all in the back for these as well. Flying geese bag, so there's a little bit of patchwork here, little dress look. And, oh, Christmas crackers. Oh, could use some of our Christmas fabric from later. Two-tone teddy bear, and then little Christmas stocking. And again, all patterns are in the back of the book that you need. So that's £9.99. We have bundles and fabrics together for you as well. The lilies, which is the one that Jenny used in her demo, is this one. And you've got far too much. You'll probably be able to make 4 of these. So if you are making for Christmas presents or gifts, then you get loads, and you get in the elastic as well. So there's ½ a metre of each of those. And this is the actual roll that Jenny made. So in here, you can keep you've got your concealer there and a pencil and your contact lenses. The idea is that you can put brushes in here, and the flap at the top helps to stop the brushes from falling out. And then obviously you slip all of the things in the pockets, and you can make those any size you like, as Jenny said. So you can divide those around the actual brushes that you're going to use, so you know that they're going to fit perfectly. And then you simply roll it all up, tie it up, and you're ready to go. So I was saying earlier that I think it would make a nice gift if it was full, wouldn't it? So if you're buying somebody a set of makeup brushes, why not make them a makeup roll? Maybe stick a mascara and lipstick in there as well. Or it doesn't have to be, oh sorry, that's £11.49 for that bundle. Yeah, it could be crochet hooks. You could adapt it and make it longer. Once you've made one and you've learnt the technique, there's no reason why you can't just extend this to keep things like knitting needles in. Keeping sharp implements in check. Your pens that you're using for marking tools. So this could be for the artist, for the sewer, for the knitter, for the crocheter, for the jewellery maker, for the paper crafter. Make it in some fun fabric for the kids, and they can keep their school pencils and things. It's really useful. Just a really useful roll to keep you organised, isn't it? There we go. Now this is the red bundle, which is these ones. So this is Wildflower Woods in red. And you've got the gold spot as well, which is foiled. And your elastic, a metre of elastic is included in each one of these bundles. That's £12.99. Then we have a couple of different Lewis and Irene bundles. So this is Poodle Doodle with cats on. And then you've got the mauve as well. So it's £9.99. And again, half a metre of each of those. So far too much for the project. You'll be able to make a couple of projects out of those from the book, if you've gone for the book as well. And then we have the blue. So a half a metre of deep navy and a half a metre of the stars. Again, this is Lewis and Irene fabric. And your elastic included in there as well for your £9.99. Right, and if you'd like to order anything, remember you can go to our website, sewingstreet.com, or you can go on the phone, so give us a ring. It's 0800 001 4433. Let me give you a reminder of our early birds. So if you weren't watching us earlier on when I showed you this, we've still got some left. And we are looking at Lewis and Irene fabric. This is the old chocolate shop. We're calling it square salmon. I don't know, because there's nothing salmony about it, colour-wise or fish-wise. But that's what they called it, so that's that. But when you look at the actual fabric, it's all chocolates from a chocolate box. So, I don't, walnut whips. Oh no, that's not in a box, is it? I like the Turkish Delight ones as well. I'm quite partial to a parfait myself. But the strawberry, I like a strawberry one. Getting hungry. So again, £7.49. That could be strawberry, couldn't it? Well, any of them could be, really. Yes. I don't know which one's the salmon chocolate. Salmon chocolate, man. Salmon chocolate. And there's a half a metre of we're calling this salmon coloured. Baby pink to me. That's your half a metre, that's what you're going to get. Now both of these are £7.48. We have seen the chocolate fabric for over £12 a metre. So we've got a good price for a whole metre for £7.48, I think. Order as many as you like, but they are pre-cut. So they'll already be cut into pieces when you get them home. So you can order more, but they will all be in pieces like that, just to let you know. What are you going to make with it? I'm thinking kitchen-y type things would be nice with this. There. So that's your early bird. So the price is reduced by a couple of pounds for as long as we have the stock or to the end of the day, she says. That's a good idea, Anne. If you use Adicut on the flap, it'll make it wipeable when you've used brushes in it. That's a really good idea on your makeup roll. Keep them coming through. Got any top tips this morning? Do come and share them. Be nice to hear from you. Okay, then we're going to take a quick break. We've got more for you coming up in the next hour. We're going to have a little bit of Christmas, and we've got brand new motor panels, and we've got some lovely new fabrics for you as well. So I'll see you again in a couple of minutes.
If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
There are two ways to shop with us, either via our website, which is www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down past the live programme and either click on the Shop Our Catalogue banner to shop via category, or shop today's products by scrolling through the list under the email newsletter sign-up form. The other way to shop is via our UK call centre, which is 0800 001 4433.
Hello everyone, my name's Cara Ackerman and I'm absolutely delighted to be here at Sewing Street. I actually originated from Hertfordshire, then went down to Hampshire and then it ended up in the East Midlands. I've been in the East Midlands for about 40 years now, which seems crazy, but 36 of those I actually worked with DMC Creative World. which was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that. And then I decided to go freelance, and that's how I got introduced to Sewing Street. I love doing anything to do with textiles, so embroidery, cross stitch, patchwork, done a bit of quilting, bag making, toy making. Oh goodness, there's loads and loads of things. What I love doing is just trying something new, and I think one of the tips is don't be frightened of trying something new. You always learn from it, and you know, don't be scared of making mistakes either. We all learn from the mistakes that we make. Little bit about me that you might not know, and that's a bit of a surprise. I once went to the garden party down at Buckingham Palace, the Queen's garden party, for some work that I did with McCreary. I was so lucky to go there, and just a wonderful time. So I hope to see more of you on Sewing Street, and I hope to try lots of new crafts with you. So see you again soon. Bye bye.
There are two ways to shop with us, either via our website, which is www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down past the live programme and either click on the Shop Our Catalogue banner to shop via category, or shop today's products by scrolling through the list under the email newsletter sign-up form. The other way to shop is via our UK call centre, which is 0800 001 4433.
Hello, I'm Catherine Wright. I'm from Leicestershire Craft Centre, which is based in Market Harborough. I love all kinds of sewing, but probably my favourite thing to do is dressmaking. But I also teach patchwork and free motion embroidery and anything to do with textiles really. I love to have a go at felting and crochet and knitting and, oh, you name it, I'll have a go at it. So I started sewing when I was 7. My mum taught me to sew, and the very first thing I made was an apron. But I'm a terribly impatient person. I just want to get on with the project. So I didn't wait for her to help me cut it out, and I cut it out myself. And I didn't know you had to have a seam allowance. So I made the world's smallest apron, and my mum still has it somewhere. Sewing tips, I would say, I teach a lot of people to sew, especially beginners, and I would say don't get disheartened. Take your learning journey slowly. Don't expect to suddenly make a ball gown or suddenly make a king-size quilt. Build up your skills, you know, slowly. And I would also say the iron is your friend. Use your iron a lot. It makes your sewing look so much better. It helps you get things in place where you want it before you sew, and is a really handy thing to have.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Shh, don't tell anyone, but I'll be on Sewing Street soon.
We have a little bit of Christmas coming up for you in this hour, and we've got a brand new panel for you, so take a look at this. An advent calendar. This is Moda, and I love panels like this. It just makes it so easy to be able to create an advent calendar that you could use time and time again. The instructions are also printed onto the fabric, so there's nothing separate, and you know, because it's Moda, you've got the amazing quality as well, haven't you? So let's take a look. I'll show you how much it is. 30, 35, it's Moda, quality. All of our advent calendars have just about sold out so far as well. So this one is brand new today, and it's this much. How many are you going to go for at that price? I'd stock up on these. So I just think it's nice to have an advent calendar that you make, because then you can fill it with whatever you like. So maybe you have, I was going to say kids, could be for anybody, with dietary requirements. They can't eat the chocolates. or you're conscious of the chocolate girl. So I'm going to iron this because it was a bit, wasn't it? A bit creased up, this one. That's better. So, or you could put little gifts in there instead of the sweets. You can put promises inside there. So, no, that's better. 100% cotton and very, very simple to do. And you can actually cut those pockets out and put them wherever you like. So they could be all in order, or you could mix them all up a bit and make it more of a challenge to find the numbers. You could add more borders around the edge of this and make it even bigger if you like. The strip down the side here is actually the hanging strip. So the advent calendar starts. Oh, a quarter of the stock sold out already. Oh, that's going to go, isn't it? But if you wanted to add another border around there and make it bigger and bigger, make an advent quilt, then that's fine. So there's the pockets look. And it's all kind of woodland look. With the animals with their scarves on because it's cold in the winter. And there's 25 on there. Some advent calendars 24, some are 12, but this one's actually got the full 25 on there as well. So all instructions here. Buy as many as you like. Go for a little bit of the polyester wadding, I think, behind it. You'll need your own backing fabric for it, but we've got a great offer coming up with fabrics in just a second as well. There we go. And I like the way that you've got a border around each one of those pockets as well. So when you fold it over and hem it, you're not going to lose any of the printed bits. So that's been very well thought out as well. So you'll need something to hang it. You will have something, a backing fabric, and you will need to get hold of some kind of wadding as well. I'd make it quite thick, which is why that poly wadding I think is a really nice idea. So it makes it nice and poofy. You could also, before you put the pockets on, you could quilt it. So you could go straight over the line, so it looks like this has all been pieced together. We've got less than 20 left now. It's going to go in a minute. Go stop listening, go check out your baskets. Or you could just do a bit of stippling, or you don't have to quilt it at all. But it's like painting by numbers or sewing by numbers. So literally cut those out, hem them, sew them on here. Couldn't be easier. But it's really stylish and very, very detailed. And I love the colours. They're very soft. So you've got the reds and the greens, which are traditional Christmas colours, aren't they? But they're soft reds. It's more of a coral colour. And the greens are like a moss green. So it gives a very Scandi kind of look to it, I think. So have another look at the pockets for one last time before it sells out. So... oh, look here. You've even got extra little, but you could use that as a plique. Maybe on a Christmas card or make a gift tag with it, but you're getting that anyway. They're fabulous. A little tag. Oh, you could cover a button with them. It's him, look. But this is the quality of Moda, isn't it? You get those details. You get the fine print on there. The bear's got tiny little spots all over it. That could have been plain. Same with the fox there. Oh, I saw a fox this morning. Normally when I come into work, because I live in the middle of nowhere, it's deer, so we drive very, very carefully. There's quite a few deer around there. And they get into the teenage stage where they still look like Bambi, but they've got antlers. They're wonderful. So we see a lot of deer. But foxes, I think it's the first time I've actually seen a fox side of the road. It was lovely. Tiny little one as well, must have been a baby. So there we go. We're down to single figures now. It's going really, really quickly. You can multi-order, but we don't have many left. So if you want to order, then do so quickly. Do remember to check out your baskets though. If you think I'll put it in the basket, then it's mine. Then I'll have a look around the website. It's not. And it's a shame when you come back to your basket and it's empty. Go through to checkout, pay your $3.95 postage, and then don't worry about having to shop around and pay another $3.95 because you don't need to do that with Sewing Street, remember. So pay for it and then have a look around. Or you can, of course, order on the phone lines on 0800 001 4433. Get your speedy dialing finger out, though, because it's just about to sell out. Still got a few left, just about to go. Now, we've put together a bundle for you with Christmas themed colours with half a metre for free. Oh yes, that's the kind of thing we do. Look at all these that you're getting. 7 beautiful, rich, deep, traditional style of colours. So we've got the burgundy, there's caramel, there's a sagey green, there's your forest green, there's a taupey kind of colour, or is it green? The lime, or khaki, that one. And then you've got a deep red as well. So all for £20.98. So £3.49 for half metre. You're saving £3.49 because one of those is free. It's that one that's free. If you're wondering, it's the forest green one that's free. Yeah. Oh, you can have the deep red one for free if you prefer. All right, there you go then. That's your free one. You can have that, but you're only paying for those. And again, just £20.98, just to give you an idea of size. There we go. So it's 112 centimetres wide by 50 centimetres in length. That panel's sold out, by the way. For you, £20.98. Nice to see that word, isn't it? It's one of my favourite four-letter words. Free. Free. I like something free. Right. The other one I like is sale. That's a good four-letter word. Right. So that's your bundle. So Christmassy fabrics, but for all year round. If you just love the colours, then you've got a great deal there. You've got a really nice bundle. Oh, now then, we've got some new for you as well. Christmas jumpers. And we've got two colour options. So these are by the half metre, which means that they don't come pre-cut. They're going to be cut into the length that you want them. So if you want a metre, order 2 units. If you want 2 metres, order 2, and so on and so forth. But this is on the deep blue background. And I guess one of those fabrics with lots and lots of detail on it. So we've got candy sticks, reindeer, snowmen, holly, there's a wreath. Somebody's just wrapped up as a present. Oh, I went to a party. It was actually at Search Press at my publishers. They had a party around about Halloween, so everyone was wearing scary things. And it was actually really funny. Somebody was wearing a jumper that was half knitted with a pair of knitting needles going straight into him. Love it. Not when the kids are around, but it was quite funny at the party. In fact, I think it was a fancy dress outfit. I have to think twice now. Maybe I rubbed somebody up the wrong way on the way to the party, and I never did see him again. So I went as a steampunk thing. I bought a top hat with big goggles on the top. It was ever so heavy, but I felt like. Do you remember He-Man? Do you remember Ram Man? No neck. I was like that. Heavy hat. That's why Ram Man had no neck. It had a heavy hat. Anyway, we're talking Christmas jumper fabric. It's brand new for you today. Funny what things up. Yeah, I was I was a steampunk. We've got 2 colour options for you, and it's fun though, isn't it? None of that. Christmas jumpers isn't something that I own, I have to say, but I've not seen Christmas jumper fabric before, so it's nice to have something that's a little bit different. So this is the white background one. And it got the car with the tree and the back of the car, look. If you're making gift bags this year, this is going to be ideal for you, isn't it? And that's, of course, something that you can wear year after year after year. Okay, so that's £6.99. Buy the half metre again, so if you want to order more than one, they will come to you all in one roll, all in one length, sorry, and brand new for you today. We also have Christmas cookies. So this is the navy version. Loads of detail in this, isn't there? You can make Christmas shirts, Christmas ties. Oh, Alan, you can make a Christmas waistcoat when you sort your problems out. You'll have to let me know what you're stuck with and I'll see what I can do. I'll admit, though, I've never made a waistcoat before, so I might not be much use to you, but let me know. Oh, I've got cookies with icing on. And again, you've got your candy sticks again, little houses and mittens. Oh. So kitchen-y Christmas things. So that could be a Christmas apron, couldn't it? So 2 different colour options. It'd be nice to go for both of them actually, because then you could make placemats and have them in alternate colours. And it's a little bit different as well to have blues and greens, but they go together really well, I think. So you could quilt, you could have a border made out of those too. But that's your green, light green. I just think it's loads of fun. Really. Oh, if you're English paper piecing, you could actually cut round these. They're perfect size for about a 1 or a 2 inch hexagon maybe, or a square one. Square ones would be quite nice, a little bit of square piecing. So again, that is £6.99 and lots of colours to mix and match with as well. So if you do have plain colours at home already, then reds, greens, browns, beiges, navies, bright blues, royals. Right. We also have the Lewis and Irene winter blue. These ones, look. Winter Bluebell Woods, and there are 2 colours, but they're both quite similar. So this one's got a grey background, and the detailing is amazing on this one. When you look at the tiny little berries on there, and these tiny little stars, and the snow, and even the little lines in the petals there, incredibly detailed. And again, it's fun, but it's elegant, this one. I think you've got a sophisticated, and it's not Christmassy, it's wintry, which means that you can use things for longer, doesn't it? These are by the ½ metre again, so if you wanted to make yourself a pair of curtains out of them, then you can do, just order more. This one is the white background. We've only got 3 metres left of this one. You're going to be quick for this one. You can order all 3 if you like. It's only £5.99 for ½ metre. And then we've got some new fabrics, and I love this one. When it first arrived this morning, I just thought, I love that. Both of them, and I'd go for both of them because they go together so well. But let's look at this one first. I love the colours, and it's got kind of that Scandinavian look about it. But I love grey anyway, greys and reds, really elegant. But I could do so. Oh, it's got buttons. I never even noticed that before. So we've got Christmas trees. We've got hearts on there as well. Brand new for you. Oh, now then, we could, gift box. I'm going to make a gift box in a bit. Yeah. Well, it's perfect because it's already got the boxes on it, isn't it? Oh, I love that one. Really lovely quality. It's nice and smooth. It's got a drapeability. But I like the grey background. I think it's a sophisticated kind of look. Oh, I do like that. Then they go together so well, so be rude not to, wouldn't it? Oh, so that was only £5.99. Sorry, I'm getting all ahead of everything. Sorry. And this one, oh look, it's got Christmas on string. Oh, and look, the twig stars. Hold the line. Why is that one £5.99 and that one's £4.99? I thought we've been having a few glitches this morning. I think you're looking at one now. If I were you, I would take advantage of glitch and place your order. Oh, I've got a label on me because there should be £5.99. Go on, order it quickly if you want it, because when somebody notices this, that's going to change on your screen. We've got terracotta pots with little trees in, look. And I love the twig stars. That's so pretty. And again, there's lots of colours in there that you can mix with. Let me have a play with the bundle. See, that goes so well from the bundle. If you want it, does the khaki? Nah. Oh, we've got less than 20 of these left, by the way. The red would go nicely. Less than 10 of these, by the way. They went like that, didn't they? That's the Christmas bundle with a half a metre free of fabric. Those are about to go. Oh, that goes quite nicely as well. Because I'm thinking if I'm making a Christmas stocking, I'd have a plain lining. I wouldn't waste patterned fabric on a lining like that. But if you can, go for both of them. That works so well, doesn't it? Or you could do a huge, I'm just looking at that thinking you could put your brushes in there. You can make a huge brush roll like Jenny made in the last hour and then give that as a Christmas present. That would be great. Right, brand new today. Right, I'm going to make, what time have we got? I'm going to make a gift box from my Christmas book, and I might make, or shall we do, no, shall we do the cone first? I'll do the cone first, and then if we've got time, we'll do a gift box as well. This book is chaptered, so it's half yard Christmas. Every single project is using less than half a yard of fabric, and it's £11.99, which is £1 less than the recommended retail price. So it's quite a big book, this one. And there was a reason for that, because I said that they're all in chapters, and I got a little bit carried away. And when I submitted everything to my editor, she said we're going to have to drop a whole chapter because the book's just too big. And then came back again a few days later and said, no, actually, we're going to make the book bigger because we like all of the projects that are in it, and we didn't want to drop anything. So we have a rustic Christmas. So this is all, I mean, all your Osnaburg, if you bought that from yesterday, would look nice in this. But using Hessian and, you know, natural fabrics, all cottons and linens and hemps and things like that. Then the next chapter is Scandinavian. That's my niece Hetty. And that's the cone that I'm going to make. But we've got the Christmas gnomes, using up scrap fabric. There's not even any sewing involved in that. That is so easy, but it looks really effective for any time of year. It doesn't just have to be Christmas. And then we have traditional Christmas. So this is all your reds and greens. And we've got decorations, tiny little stockings. Patterns for these or templates are in the back of the book. The gift bag, that could be a doorstop, it's big enough. And pillow cover. Tree skirt. Then we've got monochrome. That's my daughter Kim. And this is a monochrome because I'm using black and white fabric. You could use any kind of fabric. I just like that kind of look. The photos actually look as though they've been shot in black and white, but they're not. They are actually colour photos. But I thought just black and white fabric looks really stylish. And a splash of red always goes down well with black and white, doesn't it? So making wildflowers. That tree is actually about 3 foot tall. It's like that big. Still only using less than half a yard of fabric. And then the table mat. Then we've got Kids Christmas. That's Sadie and Elise. They're 18 and 17 now. That's the a chair set. Oh, this is a fun bit. This is more for kids. So it's a hat that goes over the back of a chair. So you can decorate your chairs. And a nice little section if you're introducing kids into sewing as well, because a lot of it's felt and hand sewing. So it's easy, you know, no sewing machines. We've got an actual Santa hat as well. Then there is Contemporary Christmas. So those two are actually professional models. I'm not related to those two. But I did poach them because they were working for my husband on a proper grown-up photo shoot. And I just said, oh, what? While you're here... He's a fitness model, actually. So that's a card holder and little wall hangings as well. So small, there's not many templates. You don't need many templates. So small, achievable projects, again, all using less than half a yard of fabric. So that's that one. Who else have we got? I'll have a think, Alan. I don't know because I've not made a waistcoat before, but I shall put my thinking cap on and have a look. So... should we do some sewing? I'm going to, trying to use for the cones. Let's do this one. Oh, I need to check I've got some ribbon, bear with me. I've got some black ribbon, that'll be okay, won't it? Yeah, that works okay. Let me just iron this fabric. I always like to iron my fabric before I get going. Can't work with creased fabric. I'll just show you what I'm making. Because there are instructions in here, obviously, and where have you gone? And you can make them in different sizes as well. So it's just circles. So you could have huge ones, you could have small ones, but they're quite cute to just hang on the tree. And for all year round as well, they're not just Christmas cones. If you use different fabric for them, you could use them to have maybe potpourri or a bit of lavender in there and hang them up in the bedroom. So up to you. Let's just press this out. So I'm just trying to figure out how many of these are going to be upside down because the fabric's directional. But we'll have a look and we'll see, won't we? It's ever so easy as well, really simple project. So that's that. Now, would I be allowed to use a plain fabric as well, do you think? Use the green one. Oh, the Christmas bundle. This is about to sell out, so if this is in your basket, can you check out, please? It's just about to go. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to use the circle cutter, which is here right in front of me. And actually, in the book, I could have full circle and cut it into 4, but you don't need to do that. You only need a quarter circle, really. But we'll see if we can do 2 with half a circle. Right, so let's take off the selvage. We don't like selvages. And we'll have the outside in this, and then we'll have the emerald as the lining, which is available by the ½ metre as well. If you just wanted the green, if you put emerald cotton into the search bar at the top, it'll take you to it, and it's £3.49 for a ½ metre. It's a good price. Okay, so let's do that. And circle cutter. This is ingenious. It's one of those products that you wish you'd invented yourself. You're going to get perfect cut circles. Even if you've got a template and you cut a circle out, you're going to have scissor marks in there, so you have to be ever so careful to cut a perfect circle. But this has its own little blade, which is safe because it retracts, so you know you're not going to touch that from the outside. That's inside there. You're going to line up for a semicircle on this line here. Oh no, half cut, there we go, got a seam allowance on there as well. There's instructions on here, that says half circle seam allowance with a dashed line. The fabric fold line is this one, so if you were to fold the fabric then you're going to get a full circle. Let's do the biggest size, let's do the 12-inch one. And then you just simply push down with the blade, around you go, make sure you're on a cutting mat, and there is your perfect semicircles, fabulous. Right, I'm going to cut this in half. So let's crease down there, open up and cut. So that's for 2 cones. So I say less than ½ a yard of fabric. If you bought ½ a yard of fabric to make the cones with, you've still got that much left. And then I'll need to do the same with the lining in the green. So lose everything. So again, that goes there. That's quite straight, so that'll do. This slips into the groove. Round you go. Semicircle. So let's move that out of the way. I'm just going to fold it in half because I need a quarter circle. And cut. Like so. Now I'm going to use a little bit of H640 on this as well, just to give it a little bit of shape, or so it can keep its shape. Oh, I'm so glad you've gone for that. Sold out now, that grey fabric with the wreath. Well done, got yourself a bargain there. You do get a metre piece for your H640, and it's quite nice for projects like this because it's easy to work with. It's not going to be too stiff. So I'll pop that on there, and I'm not actually going on the lumpy bits because I don't want to get that on the iron. So I'll just hold it down there like that. I was just looking actually because who was that? Panum was saying, is it possible to see the Christmas fabrics again, please? And I'm just thinking we're selling out. Have a look on the website if you can. We'll go through them again in a bit if that's okay. So it's just this one that's sold out at the moment. So we'll cut that up there. Right, then I'm going to put a little handle on here. Oops. So just use my ribbon on there. Green would have been nice, I think, but I've only got grey. So that'll do like that. Now then, I'm going to just fold this in half and crease it so I can find the centre point here. And the little hanger is going to go about halfway from each one of those centre points. So we'll have a pin in there. And just making sure it's not twisted, we'll have a pin that's quite long in there. Like so. So let's move that, and then we're going to just sew on the top of the ribbon within the seam allowance, just so that I can hold it in place. I'm just tacking there. Got 2 foot pedals down here because I've got the overlocker down here as well, just making sure that I've got the right machine on. Right, so that's just sewn in place so I can take the pins out. And then we're going to sew the 2 curved sides together, so the curve of the outer with the curve of the lining piece. These are so quick. If you've got lots to make, oh, wrong pedal. Oh, you'll be able to just keep making and making these. You'll get loads done in the morning. Right, so just with about 1/4 inch seam allowance, it's not particularly important. So there we have, just cut my threads. We have that. And then we're going to push the ribbon inside so I don't sew it into the seam, and fold it so that the raw edges are all together, like that. So that's how we are, and then do that. All of the instructions and sizes are all in the book, and there's loads of photos in there. It's the advantage of being married to your photographer. You just get loads of pictures. Then go backwards at the end, under you go. So straight down the side here, matching at the seam at the top, because you'll see if it doesn't match. So when you get to the top seam, stop with the needle in the down position, turn around and come back down. And then I'll need to leave a gap down here. Try to leave it towards the point, because then you won't see your stitches so much when you look into it. So we'll stop there, leave a gap of a couple of inches, and carry on. Whoops. Right. I'm going to snip off the points and then turn it the right side out. So let's push that in there. Push the point out. I know where there was a hair tool. It was in the roll, wasn't it? But I'll use the end of a pen. So let's push that out there. So you've got that. At this point you sew the opening closed, but I shan't do that now. and then we'll push the lining inside. And you've got a little cone. So you can either just press it, or you could do a top stitch around there if you like, or you could decorate it. And we've got just the kind of things. We've got these tiny little charms. These are, let me take some out. These are gingerbread men, gingerbread people. And they're sweet, aren't they? So you could have a little row, or maybe put 2 or 3 of them just around the top. There's 10 of them in the bag, but just really kind of hand sew them. Maybe just one, maybe just dangling off the end like a little bell. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just a little finishing touch, or maybe at the edge there, just underneath the end of the strap would look nice. So 10 of those for £6.99. And we have trees as well. That would go nicely because there's trees on there, isn't there? There we go. Oh, those are quite elegant, aren't they? So again, £6.99. They are metal. They're not plastic. They're not solid gold. They'll be a bit more than £6.99. But you could use these if you're a jewellery maker. Couldn't you have little tree earrings? Is that where they came from? So if you're watching Jewellery Maker at the moment and they're going, they were here a minute ago. Sorry, Lucy. Right, and they can go back in there. But the nice quality, you'll see that when you get home. I think if you get something home and it's as light as a feather or anything, but these are actually really nice. But if they're made for jewellery, then it's no wonder, is that? So again, £6.99 for 10 of those. Let me give you a reminder, because you asked for the fabrics. So this is another one of the new ones. Half of the stock sold out. Half a metre, £5.99 for half a metre. But it's about to go. So it looks like I won't be using this one if I'm making something else. Oh, sorry, £4.99. £4.99. Isn't it? Cushion covers, maybe gift boxes would be perfect. Table runners, placemats, anything to decorate your house at Christmas. But I like that Scandicanda look to it. You can make anything out of my book with those, because there's a whole half metre there. So even you could even make the tree skirt. Maybe alternate with the plain red. That would look nice. What we haven't seen yet are the, right in front of me, the North Pole compass. So this is the green option. So it's a compass and it's just pointing to north, which I think is quite nice, isn't it? So pointing to where Santa's coming from. Half a metre again, 112 centimetres wide. This is quilting weight of cotton. And it's quite subtle, this one. I don't think it's particularly Christmassy again. That'd make a nice waistcoat, wouldn't it? So that's the green, or you can go for, that's a nice colour. It's icy blue, but it's a bluey grey. That's such another elegant colour, isn't it? This one again, it's 112 centimetres wide. It's only £4.99, and it's really lovely quality again. £4.99. What we like with these prices. So I'm mixing everything up now. We have Christmas jumpers. These are new again. These are fun. So the navy background. There you go. Look at little snowmen on there. There's reindeer and the car with the tree in the back of it. There you go. And a wreath and the tree. Oh, Christmas pyjamas. That would be cute, wouldn't it? There's so much you can do with this for the home, maybe cushion covers. For obviously gift bags is going to be a perfect one. But I think a little Christmas shirt or Christmas tie would be great made out of these, wouldn't it? And that would look nice with that actually as well. This is £6.99. And then we have the white version of the white background, which is this one. But the two together go really well, don't they? It's like day and night. But if you go for the both, then... Oh, I wonder if you can line them up. Let's see if we can match those. Bit of pattern matching there. That's it. Why doesn't that one go? Oh, it's cut at an angle, that's why. There we go. There. Again, £6.99. Little bags, gift pouches, boxes, little gift bowls, table runners. Gift boxes would be perfect, wouldn't it? Let's go for this one. So I'm going to, where are we? Oh, I'm going to start making the gift box from my book. I say start making because I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to do it. And I haven't got any ribbon, but we'll get around that anyway. So I'll show you the one. So it was that one. What about a Christmas present with a Christmas sewing book? That'd be appropriate, wouldn't it? So you can put posh chocolates in it. So I've got 2 ribbons going all the way around and just tied that at the top. You could just use a popper or something on the top. You don't have to use that. But yeah, that's how it made. But I'm sure I did 2 of those in different sizes. So you can make little tiny ones. You can make large boxes. That's entirely up to you. Oh, that was another one. Yeah, just in different style with the lace. Oh, there you go. Do you remember those? It still works. It's really irritating. You can just about see a little robot coming into the table there as well. You put money in it and it lights up and counts the money. It's a piggy bank. So, should we do some sewing? Now these again you can make in any size you like. So they can be big or they can be small. Let's chop the selvages off. Oh, I think we need a new blade. And we'll do this. How big have I made that? It was a while, I do apologise. That one's 5 inches square. I'm going to do it 6 inches, or I'm going to do, yeah, 6 inches square. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I will need 5 pieces of this and then 5 pieces for a lining. And then I'm going to need something for the flap as well. 2, 4, 6. So that's okay there. So 6 inches square for these. So if I just snip that off. And then from that side. So the ruler's got 6.5 inches on it and it throws me a bit because mine at home has got 6. So that's 2. And that's 4. We've got a load of squares coming up in the next hour. We're going to be in half square triangles. That's that. Oh, we've got some new bundles for my Lone Star cushion. So have a look on the website if you're collecting the different styles because it's getting busy for those already. So I'll need. Let's do a lining in this one. That would be fun. So again, we'll chop off the selvage and I'll need 5 squares measuring 6 inches again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that one. And then we'll need some fabric for the flaps as well. So I'll just square this one off here. And, whoops, come here. And then 6 inches. Oh, yeah, that's right. So 2 and 4. And I know I'm cutting 6, but I only need 4. Actually, I can use the other ones because then I'll need to make the flaps that go over the top. That's flaps over the top. So I'll need 4 of each of those. So there's one. So you can cut those the same size, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that would work. So I'll need another 3 of these. I like the cutting up bit. I don't know about you. I could spend all day doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's all part of the process, isn't it? Right. So neaten those ends off together here. And then 6-inch squares. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4. There, okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the lining. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 for the flap that goes at the top. Okay, now we're going to cut these into curves at the top. So 1, 2. I wonder if I can do these all together. We'll have a go, shall we? So where did I put this circle cutter? There it is. And I'm just rounding off the top. So that's the 6-inch. That will do, won't it? Yes. Oops. So circle cutter is not just about cutting full circles. You can round things off with it as well. Where are you? In you go. There you are. Look at that, 4 layers all in one go. I didn't get that quite central, did I? I'll round that up by eye. Now then, on the outside of the box, I'm going to have my H640 again. And on the flaps as well, so that's going to make it nice and sturdy. So I've got a little bit left over there that I think will, yes, that just about fits on there. Let's iron that down. And cut out. You can cut with your rotary cutter with your H640 without worrying about it disappearing into your cutting mat like natural waddings can do. They can be a nightmare to get out, can't they? We have got those cleaning things on the website actually, so that could help there. Why are you lining your 6-inch up with the black numbers in the side of the ruler rather than the edge? I just knocked the 1/2 inch off the edge, that's all, because the ruler's 6.5 inches and I wanted 6 inches. I just found it easier. It worked. Right. Oh, I've got a bit of selvage on that one. Didn't even realise. Never mind. It'll be within the seam allowance. So I'll just iron it to hold it in place, not going right up to the edge first of all because I don't want to get glue on the iron. And, oh, I've done it again, look. Not to worry. I'll make sure that disappears inside the seam allowance. And I can just about fit one. Yes, that's perfect. Perfect size. There we go. And then we'll cut them out. So again, you can make these any size you like, and they could be rectangular. It doesn't have to be a square cube. You could make it longer and taller and thinner. Let's snip those. And now I've cut the fleece away, I can actually iron right up to the edge without getting glue on the iron. And then we'll sew the flaps. Oh, I need to put this on the flaps as well. With larger bags, you could use a foam and make them quite stiff, or a really stiff interfacing. I wouldn't on small ones like this because it can be a little bit tricky because they're smaller. But the same kind of technique if you were making a storage box. Right, just on the flaps. Oh, got cotton in my mouth. While I'm just ironing these, do you want to have a look at a photo that Jeanette sent in? We're going to have a look at that in just a second. She's been making, was it this one she's been making? From the book. Oh, hi Jeanette. Oh, I remember that. Oh, and we did some applique. I was obviously very pleased with that, wasn't I? That was Inspirations in Preston, wasn't it? Oh, fancy you keeping that. Thank you. And that's from my Christmas book. We did that little gift bag as well, didn't we? Oh. Yeah, I hadn't seen that picture before. Right, round we go. And I've put these on. Oh, I needed 8 of those, didn't I? Not 4. This is why I'm saying we'll start making this this bag, because there's a lot of cutting out and stuff. Right, just 2 more. Like so. You could put the ribbon on at this point, actually, before we sew these together, and just have maybe 1 tie at the top. You'll see what I mean after I've made it. That's it with H640 though. Whoops. So I'll need another. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I need another 3 of these with the curved top then. Like so, right. So I'm going to use those as a template so I don't need the circle cutter there. And let's just cut some more of those out. So right, so here's 2. I need 3. Well, I need 4 actually. Like so. That was a little bit rough, but I'm rushing it now, you see? So I haven't got much time left. And another 2 here. Right, then we'll start sewing it all together. Right, so right sides together with the curved pieces first of all, and it's just using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, so we're going to sew around the curved section but not across the bottom. Oh, 1/4 of the stock of that Christmas book sold out now. Oh, I hope you enjoy making this. It is a bumper book, that one, so it's bigger than most of the other books that I've written. So there we go. And straight on to the next pair. like so. I think we might get as far as making the outer fabric, the outer box, and then you'll have an idea of the way that it's done without going through to the lining. Because it's quite straightforward, it's just the flaps that's a little bit different on this, otherwise it's just a regular cube. There we go. The circle cut has been busy, by the way. I think because you can do not just circles, you can do semicircles with it as well. Or like with this one, it's not even a semicircle, I've just rounded off the end of the square to make a curve, so it's really useful. But there's not very many ways you can cut a perfect circle, is there? Let's do the final one here. And I'm sure we've got some pinking shears somewhere. And I'll just trim around the curved section so I can turn it over properly. So take your time around the curves if you're not too confident, because we want that to be a really nice shapely curve. If you don't have pinking shears, don't worry, you can just trim this back to the seam. But pinking shears actually come in quite handy when we have them. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, they're not. So we just trim back to the seam. And that just cuts down on the bulk. So I'm not snipping into the seam and making little V shapes. I'm just literally trimming it back. Like so. Oh, that wasn't a very good curve. And it doesn't have to be for Christmas, these. They could be, like we said, just storage boxes or put birthday presents in, maybe something to keep your things in the bathroom, that kind of thing. Let's turn these all the right side out. Little mittens. If you're going to put ribbons in the top, then do that with the ribbons facing downwards. You'd only need two, one each side, and then you can just tie them together with one big bow at the top. And there's the last one. And then we'll give it a quick press, like so. And the idea is that when you close them all at the top, they all overlap. So you don't need a drawstring or anything like that. They just all overlap nicely at the top. All right. And then I'll just do this really quickly. So with the outer pieces, you're going to sit these in the centre, and just sew within the seam allowance, so close to the edge all the way across. So I can lengthen the stitch a bit there. So that's just kind of tacking them together. It's nice to have a contrast, I think, with the fabrics as well. There you go. And, oh, that needs trimming back a little bit. There we go. And then this one. So it looks very different in fun fabrics than the black and white that I did the other one in. Okay. So do you have somebody in the family that likes to wear a Christmas jumper? That would be appropriate, wouldn't it? Paul, who's producing today, has three, directing today, sorry, has three apparently. At least three. So those are the four sides. Okay, where are we? So I shall explain, because that's as far as I think we're going to go. With the four pieces, now you're going to sew them together to make a cube. So these will all go right sides together. Move the flaps out of the way if you're concerned about catching them, because we don't want to sew the flaps. Then when you turn this the right side out, you'll have a box that looks like that. And then when you fasten, let me put some clips on there actually, or some pins or something, put some clips, and I'll show you. Got these on the website. So if that was sewn, I think I've done a few of these cubes here before in different guises, haven't I? Not like this one, but it's all the same kind of, same way that you make them. So this is as if it was sewn, just so I can explain how to put it together. You'll make up the lining in the same way, obviously without the flaps in the lining. Leave a gap in one of the bottom seams so that you can turn it the right side out. And then it's just like making a handbag. So we'll pin all of these together like so. And then when you come to close it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the ribbon goes all the way around it. So you've got like a really nice present opening experience when you peel back all of these layers, and then you can see what's inside the box there. So obviously the lining won't have the flaps on. You'll make up the lining in a box, leave a gap in one of the bottom sides, drop the outside inside the lining with the right sides together and sew around the top, and then turn it through, push the lining inside, and your little box is done. But of course all those instructions and the measurements and everything else are all in the book. Excuse me. Look at the mess in here. So that's been really busy for this one as well. That need to have a bit of a tidy up in a second. So this is the book that it's from, and this is the gift box. And I said this one's got the ribbons that go all the way around, so they're actually fixed to the bottom. And then there's 2 ribbons, and they tie together at the top when everything's overlapped like so. And I've just decorated that with a button. Now I'm calling this the contemporary section, but you can call it whatever you like, and it doesn't have to be in black and white. But I just thought those were quite modern. We've got kids' Christmas in there, so they're all chaptered with different styles. This is a contemporary Christmas. We've got a rustic Christmas. We've got a Scandinavian Christmas, and of course you've got the traditional Christmas there as well. That's £11.99. And I can't remember how many projects there are in here altogether. It normally says on the cover. But it's a big one. Fancy that. Can't remember how many projects. You need to know that, don't you? But there's loads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 33. Including big gift bags and Christmas stockings and room decorations and all of that kind of thing. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you enjoy making the projects as well. They're all very, very simply explained. And I don't do jargon because I don't understand it myself. So that's the book. Have a look on the website now if you wanted to look at any of the Christmas fabrics that we've got left. I think we've seen everything. Oh, those little charms, really busy for those as well. So these are trees or gingerbread people. You have to be careful these days, don't you? So these are trees. There's 10 in the pack. And they're all metal. We've kind of borrowed them, shall we say, from jewellery makers. So they're actually used to make jewellery with. But I think they look nice on your gift bags. So that's your trees, 10 of those. Or you can go for, and if you wanted to, go for your little gingerbread people. You've got 10 of those as well. For your £6.99. While we're thinking about gingerbread people, are you ready? Because these are going to go as soon as you see them because they're so affordable. Gingerbread people fabric. This is the cream. They're having a party. Are you ready for the price? There we go. There we go. £2.99 for half a metre. So we're going to make with that dressmaking, little dresses, little skirts. Again, you've got things like your pyjamas, even hair scrunchies, hairbands, aprons. It's a polycotton. It doesn't feel like polycotton actually. That's really surprised me. I didn't think that was a polycotton. That's a really nice quality. It's a good weight for a polycotton. So that's your cream, £2.99. That's less than things like calico that you use as scrap. And then we've got the dark green background. Oh, beginner sewing, practicing sewing. $2.99 for half a metre, and it's by the half metre as well. So you could do even more. Oh, Hannah Producer's going to make wine bottle bags. They won't stay full for long. And then finally is the red. And here's an example of the kind of thing that you can make. So this is a child's apron, but it's been laminated with Eau de Coat. So it's white-proof, it's wipeable. Water resistant, white proof. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you can just see that sheen there. So that's Eau de Coat that we do have available for you as well. And you literally paint it on, leave it to dry, and it ends up like this. It feels like like wax. Oh gosh, excuse me. And again, you can wipe it clean, so it's perfect for aprons. Eau de Coat, £14.99. That's the kind of look, and it can go in the washing machine if needed. It's a good idea. Oh, they won't last very long at $2.99, will they? We do have a couple more panels to show you. Do you remember the flower of the month that we've been bringing you? We've got a couple of extras for you because we were celebrating Christmas early, as we normally do. And this one is mistletoe. So you have the panel, which is 12 inches square, and then you have 2.5-inch strips, like fabric roll strips, to match. So you could go cushion covers. I've made cushion covers, I've made bags. This would make a nice gift box. We've bought 4 of them. And then you've got all of these panels at the side that you can either use as one sheet of fabric or you can cut those up into strips. We had Sarah on the show yesterday, and she was making tumbling blocks with 2-inch strips, but you could do 2.5-inch tumbling blocks with those just by cutting 60-degree diamonds out of the whole strips. So they don't have to be used all together. If you're collecting all of the flowers of the month, then, oh, it's September, isn't it? We should be having a new one soon. They will come together to make a whole quilt, and you probably have a couple of extra as well because these were extras that we brought in for Christmas. So a wall hanging, we've got LED lights as well, haven't we, that you could put in there. So punch a little hole in there and put little lights through. That would be lovely. And then you've even got backing fabric or border fabric with what's left over there as well. These are exclusive to Sewing Street and designed and printed here in the UK. So that is the wreath. This one is the mistletoe. I like the colours of this. I do. I like the greys. There you go. So there's your mistletoe. And do you want a closer look? Because what I like, this is Tom's work, and what I love what he's done is all of the leaves and everything, it's the same on all of them, are like pieces of fabric, so they've all got texture to them. I do love the colour of the grey, I have to say. I think that is so sophisticated. And you've got 2 labels on the bottom there as well that are separate to the actual print, so you can use them or you don't have to use them. Basically, that's entirely up to you. But if it's a gift, then or you're making a quilt, it's quite nice to have your name there, isn't it? And then, of course, you've got all of the grey strips, which are the same kind of print as in the main panel. Love to see what you've been doing with this so far. I think a whole set of cushion covers would look lovely, particularly now you've got the Christmas there too. That's £9.99. And then finally, we've got some sparkly thread. So this is a back in stock Gutermann thread, and it's metallic. So with a metallic thread, use a metallic needle. If you've ever used metallic thread before and you find it breaks really easily, it gets warm, it expands, it weakens, it's metal. Well, it's metal wrapped, so if you've got the right needle, it makes it an awful lot easier. But hand sewing, just little accents. If you're maybe decorating your Christmas fabric, you could just go around the edge and just put a few little, or maybe even just a cross stitch or something, make little snowflakes with cross stitches, or go over the top of the snowflakes up there. If you're going for the wreath, maybe you want to put a little bit of dew with a bit of silver maybe around the edge of the leaves. So you can free motion embroider with it, you can just use it with a running stitch, and of course you can hand stitch as well. So lovely colours as well. They're bright and they're fun and they're sparkly, and they're only £8.99. and there's 7 of those in the pack altogether. I've lost the bag that they came in now, look. Right, in the next hour, I've already cut the squares out. You don't have to sit and watch me watch squares. We have some, these are the old ones, but we have some new colourways of my Lone Star cushion cover kit. So I shall see you again in a couple of minutes' time. Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw from Sewing Street, and these are my 5 top tips for successful sewing. So, number 1, always use a good quality thread. A good quality thread will keep your seams stronger and also help to prevent lint building up inside your sewing machine. Tip number 2, if your project isn't going quite according to plan, put it down, walk away from it, come back again the next day and you'll probably find that things don't seem half as bad as they did. My tip number 3, never throw away your sewing machine manual, always keep it to hand because you're going to find hints and tips, techniques and troubleshooting in that manual. You'll miss it if you lose it. My tip number 4 is to read your pattern instructions before you even cut out your fabric. Different manufacturers of patterns will give you different instructions, different ways of constructing your garments and different seam allowances. So to have a successful garment, you need to follow the instructions precisely. And then tip number 5 is don't give up. Every professional sewer sewed their first seam. Every professional quilter quilted their first quilt. Every professional quilter sewed their first line of wonky stitches and had to get out the quick unpick. That's no different to you. So I hope you find these useful. If you want more hints and tips, then why not go to Sewing Street on channel 74 on Freeview, on Sky 670, and of course we have a YouTube channel where you can catch up on previous demonstrations. We'll see you soon.
Don't tell anyone, but I'll be on Sewing Street soon.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw, and as a professional sewer, I really know how important it is to use a high quality thread. Well, you think about it. You spend a lot of money on your sewing machine, you'll spend a lot of money on fabric, and you'll spend a lot of time sewing. So why let your thread let you down? I know a lot of our designers and customers prefer to use Aurifil thread. Now this is a family business. It was established in 1983 and they're based just outside Milan in Italy. They produce superior quality threads for domestic and professional sewers alike, and they've achieved worldwide success with quilters, sewers, embroiderers and textile artists who all appreciate the versatility and the strength of these threads. It's all made from Egyptian cotton, which is grown just at the side of the River Nile, and Aurifil only use the long staple threads, which gives their thread that strength. Each one of these threads goes through 15 steps before it even gets onto a spool and then comes to you to use in your sewing projects. Now at Sewing Street, we've collaborated with Aurifil and we've brought you 2 collections of threads. So we have the Quilters collection, and these are exclusive to Sewing Street. We've done a lot of research with quilters, and these are the colours that you prefer to use. So we put a whole collection together for you. The second collection is the Essential collection. So this is for the homemakers, for the bag makers, for the craft sewers, for the dressmakers, and again these have been proven to be the most popular colours that you're going to use. So if you want your projects to last longer and your seams to be stronger,
Invest in some quality thread.
If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
Hello again and welcome back again. Now I know a lot of you, because we sold out the last couple of times, we brought my cushion to you, have already got your kits and we put some new colours together. So this isn't the colourway that we're going to be bringing you, but you do get an idea of what your cushions are going to look like. And I'm saying cushions because there's enough to make two. So you can make two with different coloured backs, which is a little bit different, or you can make one with a patterned and then one with a plain back. That's entirely up to you. And there's a hidden zip inside there as well, but I'm just going to do an envelope with this one. You don't get your zip in the kit, so you will need a nice long zip at home. Doesn't matter what colour it is because you don't actually see it. So that's if you follow the instructions, and it's all half square triangle, so it's the simplest form of patchwork. You can quilt it however you want to, so I've just echo quilted around the edge of the star. I think that's simple enough, but if you wanted to meander all over it or do some more echo quilting or stitching in the ditch or hand stitching, like the big stitch quilting that Sarah was doing yesterday, I think would look really nice as well. Maybe in a really contrasting colour all the way around the outside of the star would look fabulous. So let me take you through the kits that you're going to get. This is the one that I'm going to be demoing with today. This is Lewis and Irene fabric. Isn't that's the colour that you love, isn't it? That kind of ochre, mustardy kind of colour. And the spots are just so, oh, actually they're quite mesmerising, look. Ooh. They're so retro. I think that's such a gorgeous fabric. The background fabric you're going to have in white. There's 1/2 metre of each of these. And then you'll have a star in the turquoise, or part of the star in the turquoise, and part of the star is going to be in the purple. So you'll have all 4 pieces, 2 metres of fabric for $22.99, and remember that is enough to make 2 cushion covers. The full instructions are here. I've written them just like I would do with a book, so they are very simply explained with lots and lots of pictures. That's the colour that's going to be on your instructions, but it all works in exactly the same way. So I love these colours together. I think that's a nice combination. A new fabric for you too, which is quite nice as well, isn't it? So we'll have a look at that one in just a second. And then we have the floral and blush. Is that this one? There we go. So the main fabric, or the key fabric in this one, is tiny little blue flowers. This is a Lewis and Irene again, and tiny hearts, tiny flowers, so pretty. And then to coordinate, we have the blush. So those are the 3 colours that you're going to make your star from. And then the border or the background is going to be, in this case, in the cream. And again, £22.99 will bring you 2. You can make 2 cushion covers. All you need to do is to supply a zip. So there's enough to make the binding and everything in there. There's a lot of fabric. There is a little bit left over as well. You could maybe make a small purse or something with what's left over. So that one is floral and blush. Then we have a couple of Tilda fabric bundles for you as well. So love the colours on this one. That Wedgwoody type of blue I think is really classy. A recognisable Tilda fabric, isn't it? And you're going to have this deep rose colour and a sandy colour. So those are the 3 colours that we'd make your star from. And then finally you have the cream there as well. And again, with all full instructions on how to make those cushion covers. But you know, you need your pad and you need your zip. But that's only £11.50 for a cushion cover. And I think if you were going to go into a store, even an affordable one, to buy a cushion cover, you'd be looking at a bit more than that. And then, there we go. So maybe you're revamping. You're tired of your cushion covers, you want to add a splash of colour and be proud of something that you've made yourself, having a bit of a home deck makeover. Cushions are really easy, aren't they? Because they make such a difference to a room because they stand out. It's like having pictures on your sofa, they really stand out. But really simple to make, but they can make a big difference. Nice gift ideas as well. I actually made cushion covers for my sister and her husband when they got married. I did smock them. They were quite intricate. But when you know somebody that's got everything, it's quite nice to make something personal, isn't it? So there's your Tilda fabric again, same print, different colour. So you're going to make your star out of the colours. So you'll have 2, I'll say petals out of the pink, 2 out of the purple, and then 4 out of the floral, and you've still got enough to do the backs out of those as well. And then your background is again going to be in the off-white. And that again is £22.99. Morning, Alison. Morning, Jenny. Not had so many comments this morning to me. A lot of comments, but not to me. There were a lot this morning. So those are the 4 different kits that we put together for you. So 1p&p all day, remember, here at Sewing Street, or if you didn't realise, if you've already bought something this morning and you want to buy something now, that £3.95 won't be charged, and you can order whatever you like and as much as you like, whether it's something for £1.99 or something for £2,500, all the way through till midnight tonight. And anything that you continue to add to your orders, we will we'll take the postage off the order because they're all processed at the same time. Should we do a bit of sewing? I've already cut the squares out, so you don't have to watch me do that. So when you follow your instructions, if you look at the pictures, it makes it a bit easier to see how you're going to square the fabrics up together. So you'll have some smaller pieces of your cream fabric for the background. We'll put those to one side for now because we don't need to sew those at the moment. And then there's my cream and the blue and the purple, and that's that. And that's enough for the whole of the front of the cushion cover. You can see how far this fabric's going to go. There's loads left still. Remember, you can make 2 full cushion covers and have a bit left over from this. And then let's pair these all up. So we'll have 1, and it is written down, but I just think that pictures make it a little bit easier. 2, 3, 4, and then we will need 5, 6, and then we have one of those with that, and one with that, and that with that, and that with that, that with that, and that with that. Then we're going to sew them together, so I'll need a marking pen and a ruler. And we're going to draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of each one of these pairs. So pop them together like so. Pin if you wish, and just draw from one corner to another. I'm not worried about using a friction pen here because you're not going to see that line. Same here. The little blocks that these make won't be exactly the size that you need. They'll be a little bit bigger because I find, I don't know about you, no matter how careful I am cutting these to the exact size that you need, so you've got the exact 1/4 inch seam allowance allowed, and then you'll cut them precisely, they always move a little bit. So I like to make these a little bit bigger than I need, and then I can trim them down to the right size, and then it gets perfect, doesn't it? So again, just corner to corner, it needs to be accurate right into the point. So right sides together if you have a right side, it doesn't really matter with the planes. And then we're going to sew. We showed Janet's picture, well, Janet's picture of what we were making at Inspirations in Preston last year, and she says, she just messaged saying happy days. Right, and then we're going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance to each side. So I'm guesstimating this one. Small stitch, and away we go. This is the bit that needs to be accurate. So if you're sewing a scant 1/4 inch, make sure it's scant on every one of the seams. You can chain piece these together as well. But remember, you're not sewing on the line, you're sewing 1/4 inch away from the line. So I'm sewing just to the left-hand side of these ones. So if you've got a guide on a 1/4 inch foot, put the guide along the line. And do that with every piece. Tildas have been the most popular ones so far out of the bundles. I'd love to see pictures if you've made some already. I know it's been really popular. I did see some of your makes on the Sewing Street's fans page. And I think, particularly if you're a beginner to patchwork, it can be a little bit confusing. All of those pieces and all of those seam allowances and putting together jigsaw puzzles. But this has got to be the simplest way. It's such an easy introduction into patchwork. That's one side, and then we'll sew along the second line. Then we'll cut them up. Flip that over. So it really does come together quite quickly, but I think it's quite a striking cover. I put the binding around it as well. I think it has a nice frame to it. I think it really does make a difference to it. It did look rather plain without. Okay, on to the last couple. Like so. Final one. There. And then we'll cut them in half. So you can use scissors, but rotary cut. If you're doing patchwork, you need to buy yourself a rotary cutter, ruler and mat. For accurate cutting, it doesn't get any easier. So I'm cutting straight down that centre line, and that's given me a 1/4 inch seam allowance on each side. And then I'll press those open in just a second. Oh, come on. I kind of like this repetitive cutting as well, cutting out the same shapes and sewing the same shapes. There. Then we'll press them open. I don't press seams open, I'll press them to one side. If you prefer to press them open, that's fine. And we'll go to the dark side. So pressing as in pressing, not in ironing. Ironing's doing this movement and that can distort. That seam down the centre is now cut on the bias. It's a bias seam. It will stretch a little bit. So just got a bit of steam, I've got a crease in it. So again towards the darker side. Being careful not to distort it. We do these with all of those 12 pieces. And then we trim them all down to size, so that's more cutting. Let's fill that back. So I'm going to do a bit of pressing in the next hour as well, but it's regarding dressmaking, so a little bit different. If you've got two dark colours, I still press to one side. I'm not it just takes so long to press the seams open. I don't think it makes any difference at the end of the day. Morning, Alison. I said morning to Alison. Oh, Lady Kay's in the hairdressers watching this. You having a do? Do you have to wear face masks in the hairdressers these days? How can they cut around those? Not too close to the ears. Alan's asking about split payments on the website. I don't think we do split payments yet, do we? It will be soon. It's something that's being developed along with the new website and the new studio and all that kind of thing. But at the moment, Alan, we don't do split payments, I'm afraid. All right. Be nice when we could. Almost there. I can't. Quite funny. You're sitting at home watching me ironing. I don't. Oh, I've sewn those the wrong side together. You silly devil. Oh, Carol sent a photo in. That's not, I love it when you send photos in. Oh, isn't that beautiful? First project with the new Elna 570A. That's the one I bought my daughter. Thought I'd give it a go. I've never made my own quilt before and I'm really pleased with my points. Quilting and binding needed. Just had a message to say your half-year Christmas book is on its way. Oh, enjoy it. Your points are perfect. Look at that. That's amazing for a first quilt. So, of course, I've got 2 squares that I've sewn together wrong. I'm not going to unpick. I'm going to just cut out some new ones because that's probably going to be quicker. One of those, one of those. Oh, now this lilac and blue is in the lead now. I do love these colours. Nice and bright and fresh. And I didn't actually choose the colours to go together here. That would have been either Jess or Hayley, I suppose. And personally, I wouldn't have put a purple in there. But it looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. Well done, ladies. Okay. Ruler. So fancy sewing those the wrong way around. I don't know. I need to use the board to measure that. And then oh, come on. Definitely need a new blade. Or should I just get a new rotary cutter? See how sharp this one is. Where's that 1/2 inch that I don't want to use? That's it. Colour coordinated rotary cutter, that. Okay. And then let's do that diagonal line again. And then we'll just sew that last one. Sorry about that, didn't even realise I'd sewn those together. I bet you did at home, didn't you? So right sides together. 1/4 inch from the line. Right foot pedal. We've got the Elna Overlocker in the next hour. That's been quite busy this morning, actually. Right. Just got it right this time. Cut it down the middle, press it open. And then we'll need to trim all these down to size. All of the sizes are in the instructions, all of the cutting instructions. You've only got 2 sizes of squares to actually cut. So there's the smaller ones that go in the corner and then there's the larger ones that make up the triangles. I'm just double checking what size I put. And then we'll trim them down. This is where you're going to need a ruler. All right, so I'll put you down there. And we'll trim these down to make them square. So could have used a smaller ruler for this really. Now when you're trimming, oh, we've only got 18 of these left. When you're trimming down, you want to make sure that your 45-degree line goes right down the centre of the blue. Oops, and then, so just knock that a little bit. Then I'm going to trim off the tiny little bits here. Do that on all four sides, like so. Whoops. That's it. Only the little ear on that one to do. And then do that the other way with the ruler. There we go. So that seam should be right in the point on both ends, like so. Chop that up there. And we need to do that with all of the pieces. And do them individually. Don't just pile them all up and try and do them together, because it won't work. So I'm not used to a ruler with a 1/2 inch on it. But it is very useful when you're measuring 4.5 inches. Oh, Ruth has sent a message in. Hi, Ruth. Oh, she's recording Sewing Street every day because she's a newbie to sewing. She wants to learn. Oh, just thank you for all the fabulous ideas, hints and tips. Thank you. That's really appreciated. That's very nice of you to take the time. Right, I need to get into a bit of a flow with this, don't I? So we're going to be here all day. So again, I've got that 45-degree line here. That needs chopping off there. And 45-degree line there. It's a little bit bigger there. That's it. And then I'll need to cut that off there as well. So if you've got one of those small rulers, that would be ideal. That didn't quite go into the corner, but I do want to get at least some of this done. Now remember, you need your own zip for these, and well, your own zips, because again you're having enough fabric to make two. I think it's nice to have a matching pair, isn't it? This one there, and that one. Was that Linda? Hi Linda. Linda wants to know where the pattern for the table runner in the background came from. That's from my Christmas book. That was in the last hour. That was in the contemporary Christmas section. So that's available on the website. The placemats are a slightly different, they match, but they're slightly different technique using ribbons. Whoops. Okay, we're getting into a flow now. So again, cut across the corners. 45-degree line straight down the centre there. Oh, I'm getting used to this ruler now. Well, it's odd using tools that aren't your own. It's like driving somebody else's car. Feels a little bit odd. And that's pretty square, so just the end bit. So some of these have needed a tiny little bit trimming away, which is why, again, I haven't given you the measurements to create a perfect 4.5 inch square. It's so much easier, I think, just to trim the pieces down afterwards, so you've got the perfect size. Like that. And then we'll start to, that could have been a bit better. I'll do that one again. Because that seam needs to go right into the point. Otherwise you won't get perfect points. There. Well, that Christmas book's been really busy. I suppose it's a good time of year to start making things for Christmas, isn't it? That's just a little bit there. And in. Oh. Oh, hi, Sue. Sue's asking if this is suitable for a beginner. I don't see why not. You're going to need your rotary cutter, ruler and mat. You'll need a ruler. Most of them do have a 45-degree angle on, which is what I'm using here. And like I said earlier, half square triangles have got to be the easiest patchwork blocks to work with. They're so simple, but you can create some really stunning pieces from them. So yes to a beginner, most definitely. 3 more, you're still with me? But this is the important bit. I actually like this bit. If there was a tool where you just kind of fed these in and into a machine and they came out all perfect the other side, I wouldn't use it. I like doing this. I find it really satisfying, and I think it's all part of the job if you're doing a little bit of patchwork. That's that. 2 more. So again, I'm just lining up that 45-degree line against the seam and trimming it down. So these were perfect squares when I cut them, but they tend to move a little bit for some reason. Right. Oh, if it's this colour that you want to go for, the lilac and the blue, we've got 12 left. Right. Final piece, and then we'll start to arrange them. Alright, and there, diagonal line there, there, and there. Okay, those can go there. Now let's arrange them all together. So you're going to have 4 petals with the pattern pieces, so we'll have that there. These are now the same size as your corner pieces, so we'll have that there, and then let's do a purple one there, and then on the next row we'll have a turquoise one there, and another turquoise one. I feel like I'm on a countdown. And no, it's not. No, it's not. That is that one. You do have your instructions to follow. I'm doing a jigsaw puzzle. So that goes there. And then on that piece, I'm going to need another purple one. Is it that one? There. No, I don't think it is. So that there, that and the purple one. Then we have another white one in the corner. The penny will drop in just a second. Then we have another coloured one here. That right? That's wrong. There's that and the white one. So that's that and that one. There, you see. Then next row, so follow them all row by row, and then I like to sew them together in a row and then rearrange them again so I can see that they go exactly where they need to be. Because there's nothing worse than sewing them all together and then realise that you've got one the wrong way round. And that can happen very simply. So 3rd row is going to be, that should be purple there. Yeah? No. That one. And that one. That's half of it. Don't the colours work so well together though? And then we'll have another patterned and white one here. So that's going to go there. And then next to that is a patterned and a purple, because that goes opposite that one. So that goes there. So this one must in fact then be a blue and a patterned. So that'll go there. So this one has to be a blue and a white. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it, when you start putting them all together? And then finally we've got the last row, which is white in the corners again. And then we've got the purple, which matches the purple here. And the final piece goes in there, which is that one, like so. There. And then I sew these 4 together. Well, sew them all together in rows of 4. And then sew those 2 rows together and these 2 rows together, and then the main bit is this bit in the middle that you really want to get those points meeting up well. So that's the point that I like to start with. So what I actually do, I mean, this is just to make sure it's absolutely perfect, and it's just my little way. Put these right sides together and pin them, and then I like to put a few hand stitches right in the centre just to make sure that all of those points meet up, because even though I'm starting in the centre and sewing out, I don't want to distort it or pull it as I'm sewing, because that'll separate the points. So that's the way that I do it, which is quite time consuming. If your points don't meet perfectly in the centre, stick a button on it, no one's going to know. It's what buttons are for. Do you want to have another look through the bundles, or shall we start doing a bit of sewing? I think we've got the idea with that, haven't we? Really popular for this one, and all of your instructions included. Oh, Morag, Neil's just showing a video of the new studio. That'll be nice. I haven't seen it yet. I wonder where it is. All right, just move that out of the way. So, full instructions, lots and lots of pictures in there as well, and very simply explained. And then you have 1/2 metre of the patterned. That's the white that I was using in the background, and the turquoise, and the purple. So you've got 2 metres of fabric altogether there. Enough to make 2 cushions, and that's with zipped backs to them. I'll just show you again what it makes. This is one of the original patterns, so it's not this one. You've got enough fabric to make the binding. It's not bias binding because it's straight. There's instructions in there on how to miter the corners as well. I like to sew one side with a machine, fold it over, and the other side by hand, but that's entirely up to you. So you'll have 2 of these. With the backs, I thought it was fun to mix and match. You don't have enough fabric actually in one piece to make 2 matching backs, but this way you do. Otherwise you could have 1 patterned and 1 plain, or 2 plains but in different colours, and the zip's concealed underneath a little flap there, so your zip needs to be the whole of the width. Cushion pad wise, let me just check the size. 18 inches, 16-inch cushion pads. So you need 2 16-inch cushion pads for it, and I would go for an 18-inch zip, and that means you've got a couple of inches either side, so you can chop the stoppers off the end, so the actual zip goes right into the beading at the side, the binding at the side. So that is that one. So that is £22.99, and again including your instructions. This one's going to sell out today, so if you wanted to go for this colourway, I'd do it rather smartishly. It's 0800 001 4433 if you wanted to order on the phone lines, or of course you can order on the website on sewingstreet.com. Have a look at the other colours there if you wish as well. I don't think it matters the colours, particularly if you're going to go for more than one, or you've already gone for the unless you want everything matching, you're going to go for a couple of sets and make 4 cushion covers. But if you've already got some of the originals, I just think they'd look fun with lots of different colours. Because it's all the same style, it works, doesn't it? Right, so this is Tilda and Tan. So this is the next most popular. Are they all right though? I'm not confusing everybody. So again, full instructions. Look at me like a fluff magnet. Look at this. I'm absolutely covered in tiny bits of fluff. I think I've got a Velcro jumper on today. So this is the Tilda. I could go and throw myself against a wall and stick to it, couldn't I? 1/2 metre of the Tilda, 1/2 metre of rose, 1/2 metre of the tan, and then this one is like a creamy colour, so that's what you're going to use in the outside, and the corner pieces. So 2 metres of fabric in total, and full instructions for those. We've got another Tilda one for you as well. So this is a little bit brighter. So again, all the same instructions for all of them. 1/2 metre, 112 centimetres wide. And then you've got the purpley colour again. This time we've got the pink, and then you've got the white as well, all for £22.99. And I shall show you size wise as well, just how much you're getting. Remember, enough for 2 cushion covers, and you will have a little bit left over. maybe make a pin cushion out of what you've got left. So 4 pieces like that. And it's quite a big print, but it's not too big that it's going to get lost, and you're not cutting into too much of it when you're making your star shapes out of it as well. So that and that is that one. And then finally, we've got this one. So 4 choices. Look how pretty that is. And we've got the contrast with the pink. And then the sagey colour. And this one's got a cream in it as well. That is very fresh. Actually, I'm going to say it's very fresh and very bright, but the blues are quite icy. So I really think that they could go through all seasons, really. Again, that's £22.99. The one that I demoed with, though, do be careful with that one. That's going to go. So do I need to move that down a little bit so you can see again? It's quite fun putting them all together. There you go. It's like putting a jigsaw together. And you've got enough to make 2. The fronts will be exactly the same. The backs may be just a little bit different. I've had so many questions, actually, about the table runner behind me here. This is so easy. Less than half a yard of fabric. I did kind of exaggerate a little bit because there's probably a bit more with a half yard at the back as well. I don't know what I drew on there. Well, I do. It was the overlocker, but I can't admit to that. I might have broken it. And all I've done is I've kind of stippled it, but in a shall I show you? Let me take it down and show you. In a random kind of manner. So it's all free motion embroidery, but I haven't been particularly careful with it because I never am, because I like that kind of look. So the trees are facing in opposite directions so that you can see them the right way around no matter where you're sitting on the table. But I've just scribbled, literally. Some are triangles and some are circles. So I've free motion embroidered around the tree applique. And add more if you wanted to, little decorations or strings of lights or anything like that. You can get quite carried away with those. But this is just literally scribbling away. Don't care if my stitches overlap, as long as the whole area was covered. I had loads of fun doing that. And then bias binding around the edge. So it's quite a simple technique. The placemats are a little bit different because these are strips of ribbon. So you could use applique the same as these, but I just got lots of green ribbon and just cut them down into triangles. And again, just in that really silly, crazy kind of, I don't know, do you call it stippling? Kind of make it up as you go along quilting. It's great for a beginner though, because you really don't have to be, don't be perfect. It looks better when you're not perfect. And that was part, that's it, that, of the contemporary set, as I called it. But it looks lovely on the table as well. And it's all washable and all that kind of stuff. You could use thermolam in the centre of it. And leftover ribbon, I made a tree, didn't I? Where was the tree? At the back. So that little wall hanging, I'm sure I did a 3-dimensional tree. Maybe I just made one for decoration. I know it's my book. should know what's in there. There, look. That was on a polystyrene cone and just pushed into a pot. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad you like that. But that's the book that it's from. It's £11.99, and I think we counted 33 projects in there, and they're all chaptered as in traditional, rustic, Scandinavian, contemporary. There's a bit for kids in there as well with lots of sewing stuff out of felt. So nice for them to sew or to sew for them. So I'm glad you like that. Hope you enjoy making your Christmas decorations with it. Right, now we're going to be doing, let me just check I'm up to date with everybody here. Lovely. Oh, Kate's just starting the ribbon placemats. Remember to post pictures when you've done it. Oh, thank you, Jane. Oh, yeah, glad you liked it. Oh, was that the studio? We're going to have to take a break in a minute because I want to see the video of what the new studio is like. Let me just give you the details of the cotton batting. So table runners, table mats, it's a shame sometimes, isn't it, to put hot stuff on them and you don't see them. This isn't a thermal wadding, but it is perfect for something like this. It's the right kind of thickness. But if you are making a quilt that's going to go on a bed, maybe a cot quilt, and you want something to be breathable and warm, then this is 100% cotton. So you've got natural fibres, and that's exactly what it is. So it's incredibly soft. It's Hobbs, which is, you know, when we talk about quality things and you recognise names like Gutermann and Madeira and for threads and things like that, and Lewis and Irene and Moda and stuff for fabric. Hobbs is the same of the wadding world. When you see that word Hobbs, you know that you've got a quality wadding. Just take a note of it's a crib size. Oh, it's got 20% polyester in there as well. Sorry, it wasn't a 100%. Normally on the instructions somewhere, I'll tell you how far apart you can quilt it. It will be in there somewhere. And of course, everything in the description on the website as well. That 20% of polyester is really important because it helps to stop shrinkage, which you don't always want. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And that's only £10.99, so that is a great price as well. There you go. Up to 4 inches apart, apparently. That's good. So you don't have to really heavily quilt something. 4 inches is that big, so you can actually, you know, just if you're using it with something like this, then you could just stitch around the boxes, and that's enough. Going to hold together. Okay, we're going to have a quick break and have a look what Neil's up to at the new studio, and we're going to see you again with a little bit of viscose and overlocking in the next hour. See you in a sec.
Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
There are 2 ways to shop with us, either via our website, which is www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down past the live programme and either click on the Shop Our Catalogue banner to shop via category, or shop today's products by scrolling through the list under the email newsletter sign-up form. The other way to shop is via our UK call centre, which is 0800 001 4433.
Shh, don't tell anyone, but I'll be on Sewing Street soon.
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw from Sewing Street, and these are my 5 top tips for successful sewing. So, number 1, always use a good quality thread. A good quality thread will keep your seams stronger and also help to prevent lint building up inside your sewing machine. Tip number 2, if your project isn't going quite according to plan, put it down, walk away from it, come back again the next day, and you'll probably find that things don't seem half as bad as they did. My tip number 3, never throw away your sewing machine manual. Always keep it to hand, because you're going to find hints and tips, techniques and troubleshooting in that manual. You'll miss it if you lose it. My tip number 4 is to read your pattern instructions before you even cut out your fabric. Different manufacturers of patterns will give you different instructions, different ways of constructing your garments and different seam allowances. So to have a successful garment, you need to follow the instructions precisely. And then tip number 5 is don't give up. Every professional sewer sewed their first seam. Every professional quilter quilted their first quilt. Every professional quilter sewed their first line of wonky stitches and had to get out the quick unpick. That's no different to you. So I hope you find these useful. If you want more hints and tips, then why not go to Sewing Street on channel 74 on Freeview, on Sky 670, and of course we have a YouTube channel where you can catch up on previous demonstrations. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells.
My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia Lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great,
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
and it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited.
We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and gemporia.com.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Hi there, my name's Alison Marion and I'm thrilled to be joining the Sewing Street family. I live in Staffordshire where I run a couple of sewing groups and I have a passion for vintage sewing machines and also applique. I've stitched in some form for as long as I can remember, but I absolutely love teaching and helping people stretch their skills and hopefully demystifying some of the techniques that can be quite daunting for beginners. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team and getting into the studio. See you soon.
Welcome back. It's our last live hour. There is another hour after this hour, but this is the last live hour today. And I've got a little bit of something special for you because the rulers that I've been using today and the ruler that Sarah was using yesterday, we've got some really good prices on these. So I shouldn't be showing you these, but we're going to anyway because we can, because everybody else is at the new studio, so we can do what we want. So this is the 6.5 by 24 inch ruler. If I was, well, my choice of ruler is this size. I use them for large projects, I use them for small projects. I just use them all the time. In fact, I do have other rulers, but this is my go-to size of ruler. It's £33.98, but you've got a saving of £2. Okay, so you don't very often see savings on ruler. Actually, in a lot of places, and I've worked in a few retail places, you don't very often see savings on things that sell without having to put savings on them. It's normally reduced price things, end of stock, end of line, things that people really want, things that have been left at the back of the warehouse for years. But these are our go-to brand. They are Creative Grids. We don't have to reduce the price, basically. You've been seeing me a lot over the past couple of days with lots of patchwork going on. You have 4.5 half-inch markings and inch markings. So if you start at one side of the ruler, you're measuring in inches and a half, and if you start at the other end, you're measuring in inches. So it makes it really easy, like in the last hour when I was cutting 4.5 inch squares, to trim it to exactly 4.5 inches at the edge of the ruler, if that makes sense. They've also got grippy bits on the back, so the circles that you see help to stop the ruler from slipping. And this is a QR code. So if you hover, if you've got a QR app on your smartphone or your tablet and you hover your camera over here, it'll take you straight through to Creative Grid's YouTube channel and to a video of this ruler and how you're going to use it. And with a lot of the rulers, you get project ideas on there as well. If you don't have a QR code, you don't want to download one, then just go to YouTube and put Creative Grids into the search engine and it'll take you to the website where they've got videos for all of their rulers. The other one we have, and again, with a saving, is this one. So this time we have 9.5 inches by 6.5. And that's £33.98, again with a £2 saving. No, that's the other one, isn't it? It says 6 by 24.5. Oh, that's just wrong, is it? Okay, that's just wrong. It's not 6 by 24.5, it's 6 by 9.5. It's wrong. The important thing is, just here, look, £2 saving. That's the most important thing. £2, £2 is only a little saving, but it's a £2 saving nevertheless. So if you're gonna buy them, then nice to buy them with a bit of a saving, isn't it? But we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to do that. Apparently on the website, when you go and have a look at them, the big ruler looks smaller than the little ruler. You do. You are going to get proper rulers, and the big one will be a lot bigger than the little one. So that's what you're actually going to get, not what the picture looks like. Oh, I don't know what we like here. Well, while we're on a roll now, aren't we? We're not supposed to do those in this hour. Not supposed to do this either, but we're doing it. You know, early bird specials will last for the duration of the day or until we sell out. We didn't quite sell out yesterday, so the price should have gone up. But the management's all at the new studio. We're doing it anyway. I have used some of this. So this is the bit that I cut into for the demonstration yesterday, and it's £6.50, but you're going to get 1.5 meters altogether. They are pre-cut, so you're not going to make a huge pair of curtains out of them unless you join them together. But this is Osnaburg. It looks a little bit like calico, but it is a natural seeded cotton, so it's unbleached, but you will have these little flecks in them. I've been asked a few times actually about using this for dolls, for rag dolls. I wouldn't because of the flecks personally. I'd use just a plain cream fabric, but it is a very soft fabric, so it would be suitable for bag linings if you like this kind of look, maybe that rustic kind of look I got in my Christmas book. If you like the natural organic kind of look to fabrics and to projects, maybe things for the gardening apron, barbecue tool rolls, that kind of thing, then that's going to be a perfect hard wearing washable unbleached, which is important, so there's very few chemicals being used in the process of this one, so if that's a concern of yours, then that's a good fabric to go for as well. Making toiles, yes, of course you can, but I think it's a bit of a waste because the fabric's such lovely quality. So it's really soft. You could wear it, you could make a shirt out of it, you can make a pair of trousers out of it, so maybe some calypso pants. Again, and that's £6.50, not per half metre, but for 1.5 meters, so you've got a lot there. Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to let you go off and order those and have a think about them and not distract you with anything else for a moment, unless you've entered our Maker of the Week. There'll be 3 winners, and each one of you gets your postage free for whatever you order next time around. So, did you enter? Have you put your pictures on the Sewing Street fans page? Is this one of you? Or are you one of these? Lynn Gerrity, Tracy Thompson, and Anne, is that Keogh? Keogh? Sorry, I didn't pronounce that. Congratulations! So this is Lynn's make. Isn't that gorgeous? That's really lovely. Oh. And then this is Tracy. Oh, it's not Tracy, it's Tracy's giraffe. That's cute. And then Anne. I love, that's not Anne, that's Anne's grandson. That was my choice. Anne, your pattern matching was impeccable. I was really impressed with it. I think she said that was the first shirt that she'd made for him. And doesn't he look cool? Huh? Male model, that one. So congratulations to the 3 of you. If you'd like to enter, all you need to do is put a picture of your makes on the Sewing Street fans page. So we have 2 Facebook pages. There's the Sewing Street TV. That's the one that we're on at the moment. That's the one that we're going out live on and where I'm answering your questions. And then the Sewing Street fans page is a group, so you'll need to join them. I don't think we ever turn anybody down. And there's thousands of you on there. But it's a nice kind of support group. You'll put pictures on, people comment, you can ask questions and people reply. And it's kind of a nice place to be. So once a week, 3 of those are 3 of the pictures are chosen as makes of the week. It's ever so difficult. There's so many amazing projects out there. You are a very, very, very talented bunch at home. So anyway, early bird. Nobody's twigged on to the fact that we're bringing you products that we shouldn't. Because they're in the new studio. They haven't noticed what we're doing. What else shall we do? £6.50 for 1.5 metres of this. So I've actually chopped about half a metre off that already. It's there is a lot of there's a lot of fabric there, and it's it's only £1 saving, but take into account it's only £6.50 anyway. So that's a lot, and your pounds add up, don't they? We don't take care of the pennies anymore because they're worthless, but you can take care of our pounds. But £6.50 for 1.5 metres really does go a long way. Bag lining's perfect. Bag outer's perfect. I've smocked with this before, but why not table runners? Why not embroidery? If you're going to do red work or black work on that, would look amazing. Free motion embroidery, you can quilt with it. It's a really lovely fabric to work with. But don't look at it thinking that it's calico, because it's not. It's a tighter weave, and the threads are finer threads, so it gives a softness and it gives a great handle, so it drapes really well as well. Love it when management aren't here. Let's have a chat about overlockers. This is the Elna air thread overlocker. I have the Janome version at home, which is exactly the same. Elna and Janome are the same company. So I use this one with a different name on it, basically. Overlockers can be a little bit daunting for a lot of people because of the threading system, because they can be quite tricky, I'll be honest with you. This is an air thread overlocker which makes the threading so much easier. You can thread it up in a couple of minutes instead of a couple of hours. An overlocker, if you weren't aware, it's incredibly quick to sew. So you're looking at something like 1,300 stitches a minute. It's really, really fast. I'll show you that in just a second. The threads overlock the edge of your fabric. So you've got these two threads which are loopers, so those go from underneath over the top, and then two more threads. I'm only using 3 because you don't have to use the 4. 2 more threads which is for the 2 needles, and the 4th thread lock around the edge of your fabric to stop it from fraying, and at the same time there's a blade inside here that snips away the edge of your fabric to give you a perfect edge. That's just there. I'm not going to touch it at the moment because it's switched on. But it's not just finishing off seams. You can use this as a seam, but you're going to get around about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, so take that into account if you're following a dressmaking pattern. You can do a rolled hem with this and still have the blade up. A lot of machines don't. You'll have to take the blade away, and you can gather and you can create like lettuce edges to your fabric. I'll try and show you that if you've got time as well, by using a differential. Not all overlockers have a differential. Basically what the differential is, you've got 2 sets of feed dogs underneath here. So the feed dogs are the teeth underneath your machine that pull the fabric through. So on a sewing machine you may have a set of 5, you may have a set of 7, and they all pull the fabric through the machine at the same rate. These have, machines that have a differential will have 2 sets of feed teeth working in front and behind each other. So they're not side by side, one's in front of the other. So, and they feed the fabric through at the same time, like so. But you can move them independently. This is going to be a little bit like doing this, so that your front one moves faster than the back one. That's difficult to do. But then the fabric's pulled through the back teeth quicker than it is this one, and it stretches the fabric out. On the other extent, you can have a slow back one and a really quick, God, try and do that. That is really difficult to do. Slow front one, quick back one, and then that pushes the fabric into under the needle, and then that gathers all of the fabric up. It's really difficult. But again, they don't all have that. So we've got 4 threads. If you're going to use 3, as I have done, don't thread up either one of the needles. It can be left or the right needle, but take the needle that you're not using out. Otherwise, you're just going to have a needle pointlessly punching holes in fabric. But I've just got 3 in at the moment. Mine at home, I use 3 most of the time. It's fine for finish, and it saves a bit of thread as well, actually, when you're only using 3. I've got so many foot pedals and irons and stuff down here. Right, let me show you how quick this is to start with. Oh, and then we'll look at threading. I shan't thread it up, we haven't got time, but I shall show you. So it can be very precise, or you can just go really, really quickly. So if you've got long pieces of fabric, maybe it's curtains, if you're dressmaking. I've put different colours of threads in there so you can see what their role is. So the yellow is the right hand looper, the red's the left hand looper, and then I've got one needle in there which is the blue. If I use the left hand needle, then the seam will be a little bit wider. Don't worry about the tensions when you first pull the threads through, but if you do put different colours of threads in there, then you can see if it's not sitting perfectly flat on the edge of the fabric, which tension that you need to adjust, but have a play with that. If my red's loose, it may be the red that needs tightening, or it may be the yellow that needs tightening to pull the red down, so just have a play with the tensions. But have a look inside here. The machine won't work when the door's open, that's a safety feature. So I couldn't use it now if I wanted to. But this is the scary bit for most machines. This isn't. These little holes here are where your 2 looper threads are going to go. And it's an air thread, so to thread them, you flick this over to the left-hand side, then point at the one that you want to thread. You will always start with the right-hand side and thread in that direction. When you pull the thread through here, there are tension discs inside there that are like 2 little saucers. Just pull the thread into those and make sure that they're engaged. And then the ends of your thread go in here, and this is a pump, and that will pump the thread through. It will go all the way through the system and pop out this side. That's as easy as it is to actually thread them up. While you're there, we had a question, I'm sorry I can't remember who it was from the other day, about changing the blade. You will have a spare blade, and it's funny because I changed my blade for the first time the other day. Where did my accessory box go to? It's right in front of me, isn't it? It's really easy actually. It will be in your instructions no matter what kind of overlocker you've got. You should have a spanner. Come here. There we go. You've got a spanner, and your spare blade, if I just show you on here, it's got a little bolt that goes through the middle of it. So all you're going to do is whee! Unscrew the bolt that's in there with whichever end of the spanner fits, and then pop the new one on. It's that simple to do. It'll only go on one way round. The sharp bit of the blade is pointing towards you as you're sewing. So literally unscrew the bottom of the blade here, unplug it just in case, you know. But the blade is that bit there. Unscrew that, take it off, throw it away safely, put the new one back on again. So that is actually rather easy to do. While you're in there as well, we can have a look at some of the different settings, because we'll do a rolled hem, shall we? That always looks nice. So blade here. With a lot of machines, you'll need to take the blade down for a rolled hem, as I said earlier. You don't with this one, you can actually trim a rolled hem off. These are the tubes, look, where all of the threads are going to be fed through. Now over here, you've got, you can take the blade down if you want to. There's a button at the bottom that just stops it from using. But this R and S, S is your standard and R is for rolled. Now with the rolled hem, you're going to need to use 1 needle, and preferably the right needle. I find that works better. But we need to pop that over to R. Over on this side, you've got an S and an R, or a standard and tight, over here as well. So when we're doing the rolled hem, we're going to go to tight. With a lot of overlockers, if you want to do a rolled hem, you need to adjust the tension. This has already adjusted all of the tensions evenly, so you don't have to do anything at all. The other thing that I'm going to do is just on the side here, is move this dial down until it goes to R for rolled hem. And then this is the stitch length. You can have a play with that and have that at, you know, whatever kind of stitch length that you like. I'm going to do quite a short one. I'm going to go down to number 1. And let's sew. Let's see what we do. So we'll close that front back up again. I'll do it facing me so I can see what I'm doing. So I've got the same threads and I've got the same needle as I did this with, remember? But now I should get a completely different look. But again, you have to have a play with it. Don't think I need to. I think that looks lovely. I'll show you that close up in just a second. So if you're sewing finer fabrics, come off there. if you're sewing voiles, if you're sewing, I don't know, bridal wear or something like that, that's the kind of edge you're going to have, which is tiny. So, and the edge of the seam is actually rolled over, trimmed off, and look how perfect that is. So that means if you do have that very, very fine silky fabric and you don't want to do a hem, that is less than a millimetre. No, sorry, less than an 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch in thickness. But that is using exactly the same needle, thread, tensions, everything. All I did was alter the regular to the tight and move over to the R button. And that's the difference that it makes. So you can see even in this setting how versatile it is. You can completely make outfits out of this, particularly with this. I found a very fine one, a very fine floppy viscose. That'd be nice actually. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. So imagine you've got a very fine fabric. I'm doing it anyway. What are you going to do? And let's see how the edge finishes. Oh, look, broken needle. I have no idea why. Oh, that would look very nice on something like voile. It's a nice way of finishing it off, and you're only going around the edge without, without normally breaking a needle. I don't think I've ever broken a needle on an overlocker before. But you do get spec. That's because I'm not supposed to do that, isn't it? Now then, let's unplug and change the needle. You do have a pack of spare needles. Please use overlocker needles with your machine. You do have a 2-year warranty with the machine. Right on the front here, it tells you which needles to use. And I know it's a bit brutal, but Elna do say that if you don't use the right needles and anything's wrong with the machine, you invalidate your warranty. So you do need to use the right needles for it. Bit of a tip for you. Whoops. Fell over my handbag. When you're taking the needle out, put a piece of paper or fabric underneath it just to stop the end of the needle dropping through. And then you're going to unscrew this. When you put the needles in, by the way, they're at different heights. Don't worry about that. The reason for that is they're travelling at such a speed. If both needles hit the fabric, oh, it's dropped out, hasn't it? If both needles hit the fabric at the same time, it could cause puckering in the fabrics. So they go in kind of like that, so it gives more of a chisel shape as they go in. So that goes back in the hole. I'll take that out there. I've caught the end of that needle, which is fine. The thing is with this one, this side opens up as well, so you can actually get inside there if you do drop a needle inside it, and give it a good old clean while you're in there too. So that goes back in the same way, just like needles on any domestic sewing machine. Tighten up the screw. Oh, and another thing. If you're only using one needle, remember to take the second needle out completely. And that was a bit loose actually, maybe that's why it hit the side. Take the second needle out completely and re-screw the little screw back in again above the needle. Just make sure that is. Because the vibrations from the machine could shake that little screw out and then it'll go into your shag pile carpet and you've lost it. And it doesn't come with spare ones, so just make sure that you don't lose those. Okay, now if that's to rethread, I would now at this point undo everything, rethread everything from the left to the right, which may seem like a bit of a pain, but if you just rethread the needle, you may find that that the thread starts breaking. Don't know why it happens, but I find if I start again and just thread from left to right, that tends to work. That is I'll put that in the pin cushion. Right, so £979. I find my overlocker invaluable. I will use it for every dressmaking project I do. My daughter, she doesn't have her overlocker because she uses mine, but she's only been sewing for a couple of years and uses the overlocker for every dress that she makes. It gives you a professional finish. If you're making to sell or you're making for gifts, that goes on the front there by the way, then you get a professional finish. More importantly for me, it's quick, and it means that the seams are finished so that the more a garment is laundered, the less likely it is that it's going to fray. But it's the speed of it for me. You can sew so quickly with those. Right, so that is that. Right, let's have a look at that Osnaburg fabric that we're not supposed to show you. This is yesterday's early bird. It's a metre and a half. Yeah, we've still taken, it's only £1, but we've taken £1 off. We've still got £1 off because nobody seems to be in the office at the moment. So we're rebelling. We're like naughty school children here. And shall I tell you something else that you probably shouldn't? You'll get a metre and a half. I actually cut into this yesterday. So what we would normally do, if any of the presenters or demonstrators cut into the fabric, the next time we bring you said fabric, we order more from the warehouse so you get a complete piece to see. Hannah producer don't phone the warehouse because then management might realise that what we're doing. Yeah, she's been a bit she said a bit sneaky, I think a bit cowardly. Because I think they might find out anyway, but it'll be too late then because we've done it. Yeah, if it's live on air, it's real, it's happened. So there you go. If we say there's £1 off, there's £1 off. It's just £6.50. But it's a nice quality one. Right. What the clapper? Dressmaking. You may have seen these. You relate clappers to tailors and professional sewers, but there's a reason for it. I've put the sewing machine away now, haven't I? If you are, yes please. Let's pull director off and to bring me the sewing machine back again, which would actually be rather useful. Look, I'm still gathering fluff, honestly. It's a millwood. Another one of those names, if you're not aware, is quality. And it's a lovely beechwood clapper. This is used when pressing seams. The moisture from steam is absorbed into the wood, it comes back under, it presses the seam from both sides, but it gives you a really, really crisp finish to a seam. So what you would do when you're ironing is to press with the iron, hold the clapper down just for a couple of seconds, and you'll find that your seams sit really neat and your stitches look perfect. When you first, particularly in dressmaking, when you first sew a seam together, you press like I was saying in the last hour instead of ironing, so you're not moving it. And it's called melding, but it actually melds or almost like melts. It makes your sewing thread become one with your fabric. So just a bit of steam and just pressing that down. Before you open the seam, if you're pressing seams open, press it together flat first and then hold this over the top. The moisture is reabsorbed back into the clapper and it'll help to keep the crease there. This bit on the end here, that's not just a handle, that's there for a reason, because if you're making a collar, and this is what I wanted to show you, so let's cut out a collar shape of fabric. Well, that's a little bit 1970s. Do you remember those big round collars we used to have? With a tank top. Oh, brightly coloured, probably acrylic tank tops with puff sleeves underneath and big cuffs and then big long collars like that. We were the bee's knees. With hot pants. As you do. Right, I'll just sew this up so I can show you. Which pedal is it? Not that one. So just excuse the top of my head while I just unknot the pedals. I mean, look at this. You can't see it, can you? It's just... But we've got the machine, so we're fine. We're just knitting down here. There we go. Right. So let's do, normally with a collie you'll do a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance and then trim it back, but I'm not too worried about seam allowances. I just want to show you how it works. When you're pressing a seam if you're pressing a seam open, press it closed first or flat first, so pretend it's not a collar for just a second. So there's your seam. Before you press it open, clapper on top of there. In fact, let's get my iron and board as well. So clapper goes over your seam, then back to the ironing board and then press the seam open. When you're doing a collar, you'll find that the seam will sit better, because when I turn this the right side out, the seam needs to sit right on the edge of the fabric here. And you'll find, I don't know why, so it's going to be like that. You'll find this seam will sit a lot flatter if you press this seam open. Now that's going to be quite difficult because it's going into a point, but that's what this is for. So now you can push your collar into here, you can open up your seam, you can unknot your iron and press right up to that point. And the same on this little bit here. Right into the point. And then when you turn this through, let me just chop the end off. The seams are going to sit together again like they were before, but you've already got a really nice seam down the edge anyway. Never use your scissors to do this, but this isn't a real shirt, so I'm sure we'll be fine. So poke out that end bit best you can. And then when you come to pressing, your seam will just sit perfectly on the end, but it'll be a nice sharp seam all the way down there. We must get a new one of these. This looks awful, you know. Well, no one's in the office at the moment. Can we just order one, Hannah? Let's just get one at the warehouse. Do it anyway. So that's why a clapper is important. If you're only going to make one dress, I wouldn't bother. But if dressmaking is something that you really want to get into, it's an investment and it really will help with your seams, particularly if you do want to go on to dressmaking at a professional level, if you're going to start selling what you're making. It's just one of those things. It looks like an anvil, doesn't it? But there's a reason why you see these in Savile Row tailors, because that's what they're going to use to press the seams open. So that's that. Now then, something else that I'm really quite keen on, the chalk pen. So it's that last hour again, teeth don't work properly. The chalk pen and cartridge set. There's a lot of discussion about friction pens at the moment. Shall we use them on fabric? Shall we not? Yes, in seam allowances, please, but not where you're going to see it. What about air erasable and water erasable pens? Absolutely fine. Put an iron on them and they're permanent. They could damage your fabric. Chalk's probably going to be the most useful and versatile way of marking. These are refillable, so you can press the end down and you can literally pull the chalk through, and you've got all of these different colours of chalk as well. And there's a pencil sharpener, so you can, or I should say a chalk sharpener, so you can sharpen the ends of that to get a really fine line. So if you're marking maybe where dots need to go, if you're transferring markings from patterns and things like that, you can mark away to your heart's content and then that will brush away afterwards. You will need a little brush to do that. And look at all of the colours that you're getting. So that's another thing with friction pens, as far as I'm aware, don't come in white. So if you've got black fabric, you're not going to see anything. Your water erasable will be that colour blue and your air erasable will be purple. What if you've got blue or purple fabric? With the chalk pens, you've got a colour that will contrast with light colours, dark colours and pattern colours alike. And there are 17 of these refills, including the one that's in the pen, just in this initial set. I've used before, you know, the chalk triangles that you can get. They're fine, but you can't sharpen them. So as you've used the edge of them over and over, you're going to get a thicker and thicker line. And the other ones that I've used are actual pencils. I think we've got some here somewhere. And again, nothing wrong with those, but you'd have 17 pencils. Well, you wouldn't, because a lot of those are white. You'd have a lot of pencils, whereas this is refillable. So I think it's a really clever idea. It's something that I use a lot. And at £14.99, look how much you're actually getting there. It's amazing. So for marking, the only thing I wouldn't use it for is marking. Mind you, it doesn't come off unless you give it a good old rub. Something that you're hand sewing. So like with my smocking, I actually use biro because it's on the back of the fabric anyway, but I really want something strong that I don't want to disappear when I'm touching it. Anything else, certainly dressmaking, then this one. But fine lines, So there's very few tools that will do a really fine line, chalk tools that will do a really fine line, and that one will do. So that's the full set. While you're there, why don't you go for the refills as well? They don't go off. So you get the same, there's 17 without the pen. It's basically that without the pen or the pencil sharpener, because you don't need that because it's a refill. And look at your price there, it's £6.99. Obviously white's going to be the one that you use most of all, so that's why you've got more. And again, you just simply push these out and then pull them back in again. So there's nothing to untwist, unlock, unscrew or anything like that. They just push in. So your refills are £6.99, and there's 16 refills. So there's 17 in here because there'll be one in the pen. There's 16 in the refill packet. Let's have a look at hams and rolls. Back to ironing again. If we have a look at the ham first of all, another like traditional tool that you're going to see professional dressmakers use. Reason being, there are going to be times where you don't want to iron flat. If you have a princess seam on a dress or on a jacket, that's the seam that kind of goes down here. And it's curved, and you don't want to flatten it because it's a curve. So this is where you're going to put your ham underneath the seam and press over the top. So obviously I haven't got a princess seam here, but that goes underneath your garment. There's your curved seam, that goes on top. You can steam away like mad. This is filled with sawdust, which again absorbs the steam. So it draws the steam through even quicker, making it do its job on your fabric even better. So for princess seams or for shoulders, it's the perfect shape for different sizes as well. And you can see why it's called a ham, because it looks like a ham. So again, another traditional tool. I use them for bag making as well, because if I've got a bag with a gusset, I don't want to be pressed flat. Actually, if I've got a tote bag, I don't want to press it flat so it's two-dimensional. If you press the seams flat, not flat that way, press them so that they've still got some shape. I think it looks better on your bag than having creases all the way around the edge. So yeah, a very, very versatile, very useful tool. And so is this one. So that's £11.99. This is the roll. So what about sleeves? This one, I'd probably use my roll more than my ham, to be honest, for bag making, because it's deeper. I can get further into a bag and get right into the corners at the bottom of the bag. It's exactly the same kind of thing. It's filled with sawdust, absorbs the steam and all of that kind of stuff. But if you're pressing seams open, and I'm just going to make another seam, just bear with me quickly. Not going to be much of this left. If you've got the kind of fabric, silky kind of fabrics particularly, where you press the seam open and you can see the marks where the seams, where the edge of the fabric is, then this is a good trick to help prevent that. Whoops. So I'm just going to sew a rough seam of no particular width, just to show you. Oh, that's very wide, never mind. Oh, it's very narrow. I'm a professional seamstress, you know. You wouldn't know. So yeah, that's the wobbliest seam I've ever sewn. But if you're pressing this open flat, it won't happen with this fabric, so it just won't work that way. You could press your seam open and then see like an indentation where the raw edge has been down the side. When you've got your roll, when you press open, the bottom fabric is curved away from the seam. So if you're careful, you can actually press that seam open without touching the raw edges. So I'm only touching the seam in the centre. So this isn't going to leave any kind of indentation down the side. And it's a lot easier probably on the narrow end there. So again, stretch the base fabric away from the seam, and now you're just ironing the seam. So you can see why they're so useful. It's not just sticking it down a sleeve because you don't want to crease down your sleeve. There's a lot more uses for these. And I think at £8.99, that's going to pay for itself very quickly. That's going to be one of your favourite tools, I'm thinking. So, but you will use both of them. Oh, now we've got a seam gauge here somewhere as well. I bet there's loads of space in that new studio, isn't there? So we don't lose things. I can't find the seam gauge, Hannah. Yeah, they're probably taking it to the new studio just to measure stuff. No, it's not here. Seam gauge on the website for perfect hems. Sorry about that, don't know where it's gone. That fabric that I was about to show you before a broken needle. Viscose. Do you know, viscose is very popular at the moment. There's a lot of people dressmaking with viscose. Particularly in the summertime, I think you're going to be wearing this. It's natural, it's made from wood pulp, it's breathable, it's light, it's floaty, and it's just a pleasure to wear. It's so silky soft. Easy to wash, colours don't fade. It's an almost perfect fabric, but it's got such a fluidity, such a drape. This is really elegant, isn't it? Look at those birds. That birds of paradise. And a black background. I'm thinking kimonos with this one. Wide sleeves. You know, or if you're gathering, if you're making ruching, or if you've got like frills around things, there's sleeves with frills around are very popular at the moment. Then you can gather this as much as you like. And it doesn't kind of do that because it's not a stiff fabric. It still hangs beautifully. Dressmaking width is 140 wide, so you've got a nice width on that as well. But I'm just thinking evening jackets, that would be, the plain black dress would look amazing, wouldn't it? £7.99 for half a metre. If you're sewing with viscose, it is very fluid. It can tend to spill off the table. So just make sure you've got lots of support. So if you're sewing on a table, have the majority of your table out this way so that you can hold it there. Otherwise you'll find it pulling away. You don't need any special needles or anything like that. And a walking foot, if you have one, can help to stop the fabric slipping if you do have a slippery type of viscose fabric. So that's £7.99 for Gilding Corella. I don't know why. That goes nice with that. This is viscose again, in tangerine. This feels like silk. It's so soft. But again, you can see the fluidity. You can see the drape on this. It is beautiful, beautiful fabric. But it's lovely to wear. It's so light, it's so soft, and it's so tactile. That would make a nice lining as well. If you've got a cotton jacket, maybe you could use that as a lining. That's only £6.99, and again you'll have 140 wide. I was just looking at these two together actually. So you can make a lovely jacket and then have that as a border around the edge. Have we got? Is it that one? No. There was one of the So Different patterns that my daughter made up with a jacket with a different coloured border. It looked beautiful, but that would be really nice. Then, so that's that one. This is lovely. This one's got a little bit of texture. So again, it's the viscose, but it feels slightly rougher. It's not quite so silky. It's almost got, you know how linen has a slub? It looks like it's been caught. It's that kind of look to this one. So a crepe linen look, we're calling this one. But it is viscose, it is 100% viscose. So you've still got that gorgeous soft fluidity with it. Love those colours. Aren't they bright? So viscose is actually the fabric content. I think I've told you before, I was listening to a talk by an American designer, and she was talking about fabric content. And she said, if somebody says, what's your favourite fabric, and you say cotton, it's a little bit like saying, what's your favourite food, and you say flour. Because the cotton is the ingredient that makes up cotton poplin, quilting cotton, cotton lawn. It's the fibre content, not the actual material. And it's a little bit the same with viscose. So viscose is the fibre that the fabric has been made out of, and then it can be made into something like this crepe viscose or linen look viscoses and things like that. So it's all made from plant-derived pulp. So they call it a semi-synthetic because chemicals have been used to in the process of making it. But it's nice and soft, but it's a nice one to wear. I love those colours. So this is the foliage canapé. It's the gather, it's the drape with viscose fibres that I love. Tropical stuff's really popular, isn't it, at the moment? And again, smooth, easy to use, easy to wear, easy to wash, it's colour fast, it's beautiful. So that's $7.99, that's foliage canopy. That's that. And then this is the knot fabric, so it's quite nautical, I think, this one. It just feels cool. It's almost like you've taken the fabric out of the fridge, it's so cool. And you've got these delicate little knots, that'll make a lovely blouse. And again, the gathers, the pleats, the frills, the ruffles, the tiers, that it just hangs so well. So not something I'd use for quilting, not something I'd use for homewares, definitely dressmaking fabric, this one. But it's so comfortable to wear as well. And it's very popular at the moment. We sell a lot of viscose. We've got a plain navy as well. Ideal fabric for ladies of a certain age. When you don't want anything that's too hot and sticky, you want to wear something loose and floaty. Or holidays, travelling, workwear even. It's so tactile. You're not going to be able to stop stroking it when you get it home. £7.99 again for half a metre there. Then, circular skirts would look nice. You might need a lining, but you could have the whole circle, and then when it drops down, you just have these wonderful straight folds. That would be lovely. I like this one. Isn't that pretty? That is so elegant. And a lovely soft colour blue as well. Tulip Cascade, this one's called. That drapes. That's why we love viscose so much though. This is what it does. It's just fluid. It's beautiful. £7.99 again for half a metre. These are all 140 centimetres wide. Then, this one's nice. The next one's nice. They're all nice. Put that away. Look at this one. This is another one with the crepe finish to it, so it's slightly text. I like that one. Jacket again. I see everything as a kimono style jacket with a belt round it maybe, so just big square sleeves, little nipped in waist there, and if you do love ruffles and anything, just look how that ruffles up. It's beautiful. It's £7.99 again, 140 wide, and this is another one of those with the texture, so you can see this slub kind of effect as if it was a linen. A Florence crepe linen look, apparently. But it feels nice, that's the main thing. It feels nice. Look at this one. Just that way round. I love this. Look at the birds. I would like this in wallpaper. The detail on these are the peacocks. I adore peacocks. And pheasants, like Chinese pheasants. It's called Hunter's Quest. Why would you want to do that? £7.99. I like the colour actually. It's a really, really deep grey. But just this very subtle pinks and that deep blue in there as well. But look at the detail on this. That print is incredible. There's so much kind of movement and texture in this one. So pretty. And the feathers and the tail, little claws, and then of course the flowers. That is so impressive. Gorgeous peacock. So now with this one, do you know, if you really love the fabric, and this is a little bit heavier than the other ones, it's not quite as fluid, I would put some stabiliser on the back of it, and then you can use it for what you like. I wouldn't quilt with it, personally. No reason why you can't, I suppose. But if you're making cushion covers and table runners and you're doing home interiors and you love this design, if you're making curtains, I'd definitely put some kind of interlining on there, but they'd have such a lovely drape, wouldn't they? So, I mean, you can build up any fabric you like to be as thick as you like with interfacings and stabilisers and things like that. But that would be really nice for homewares, wouldn't it? Imagine cushion covers made out of that. It's very upmarket, very classy, that one. Right, so let's fold that up there because we've still got more to show you. We've got a pretty blush pink. This is one of the finer viscose fabrics again. So this is really silky. $7.99 again. Now these are by the metre, so if you've got an evening dress or a prom dress or a bridesmaid's dress to make, then you can order more than just that ½ metre length at a time. So if you wanted to order a metre, order 2. If you wanted to order 2 metres, then order 4 units, and so on and so forth. That's that. And then we're going a bit tropical again now. That's bold, isn't it? Proper splash of colour into your wardrobe. $7.99 your price for this one. That goes with, kind of goes, actually just with that one as well. That's a really nice colour, that orange. All 140 wide, remember, at £7.99. And that we're almost there. One more in the viscose department. And this is Mopsy fun. It's rabbits. Look. Flopsy, Mopsy, and they were the Peter Rabbit rabbits, weren't they? The little tiny rabbits, and pink ones and green ones and white ones. That's so pretty. And again, that's £7.99. That's really unusual, isn't it? It looks like spots from a distance, but it's actually little tiny rabbits. That's very cute. Right, that's all the viscose. If you want a reminder, then have a look on our website on sewingstreet.com, and you see all the fabrics that we have available for you there. So that's the viscose section. Shall we have a look at ballpoint needles? We've got those. Super stretch. Now, don't buy these if this is the only thing that you're buying, because you've got $3.95 postage to pay. But this is one of those little things that I was saying earlier. If you've already paid your postage, then they're only £5.50. Oh, that's a good price. They're only £5.50. They are Janome branded, so you know you've got the quality, and they are super stretch. Now, a stretch needle has been designed to work with fabrics, so spandex, elastane, lycra, that kind of thing. Stretch fabrics, basically. So they've got a slightly rounded point to them. With a ballpoint needle, which is for stretch knitted fabrics, the ball bit, the end of the needle is slightly more round, but you're going to be able to pierce stretch fabrics by parting the threads instead of cutting through them. It's always important to have the right needle for the job. For the most part, most of the projects you're going to be using, if you're quilting, if you're dressmaking, unless you're using specialist fabrics, universal needle will be fine. But when you start going on to very, very fine fabrics, silk fabrics, actually, if you're quilting, there are specialist quilting needles. Needles that are designed to go with different types of thread, like your metallic needles to help the thread pass through without breaking. Denim needles, which are really strong needles, leather needles, which will cut at an angle into the fabric. All of these needles, it's not just a gimmick. These make a difference to the way that your machine sews. So you'll find when you've got the right needle for the fabric that you're using and the right thread for the fabric that you're using, you'll have less skipped stitches and you'll have a nice, neat, smooth stitch line. So if you want to stock up on a few stretch needles, we've got them here. You can order as many as you like. There are different sizes within there as well, so that's the different thicknesses of the needle. That's your 11 and 14, 75.90. And again, that's £5.50. I've had a message from Carol. Hi, Carol. Oh, she's just heard my trailer in the last break, didn't see it, that said, when you're having problems, stop and walk away. Oh, that one, yeah. She said, just this morning, I had to lengthen a strap on a bag and just, she was shortening a jacket, was that? Oh, she lengthened the strap on a bag and lengthening and shortening a jacket. Right, okay. Oh, and it was all better after a few days break. It works, you know. Thank you, Carol. Go and get your coffee. Thank you very much. Oh, Joy's been asking about viscose. What washing? 30 degrees. You will, it depends. It's a really fine fabric, so if you leave your work, leave your garments slightly damp, drip dry them, you probably won't need to iron at all. I don't know if you use a tumble dryer or not. Take it out of the tumble dryer while it's still warm. Don't use a very hot setting on your tumble dryer. Any fabrics that we bring you are, in fact, manufacturers would recommend 30-degree wash on fabric or cool wash. That's just what you get. If you're a little bit concerned, then I would say do a patch test. Take a small sample and wash it and see what happens. It shouldn't shrink, but I'd say cool wash for these. No more than 30 degrees for those anyway. But it comes up lovely. It's easy to wash and it's colour fast as well. Right. We're running out of stock of our of yesterday's early bird. Shouldn't, we're going to be in so much trouble. We don't care. Hannah has asked if we can do this really quickly so we don't get noticed doing it. So if we, what should we do? Let's put a little bit of viscose on there, just so that we can confuse management if they're back, and then we can just keep doing that. And then we can hide it again. Metre and a half, £6.50, £1 saving. Yesterday's early bird. Shouldn't be here, but we've got it anyway. Whew. Yeah, is that good? Yeah. Right. Okay. You know, when this goes on YouTube, can we edit all of the Osnaburg out? Yeah, we're doing it now. A metre and a half for £6.50 is fabulous value, really. While we're here with fabrics, we have some tweeds. Oh, Brenda's ordered the pressing hams. Well done, because she's lost hers. Yeah, it'll show up now you've bought another one, won't it? These are tweeds, so a completely different type of fabric. 2 needles in your overlocker when you're using this one will help to stop fraying. This one's called Manhattan, which is a really deep bag. Oh, if you're making a Christmas jacket, I'm imagining boxy Chanel style jackets with a little bit of frayed trim around the edge. Maybe an edge-to-edge jacket, no buttons needed. It's got a nice weight to it. You know what it isn't is itchy. Some of these types of fabric can be quite iffy, riffy. This isn't. It's nice and smooth. I don't like itchy fabrics. This is cotton viscose wool mix with a bit of lurex going through there as well. Oh, what's it called again? It's a boucle style tweed with a lurex waffle weave in a wool viscose cotton mix, and it's 145 centimetres wide. It's kind of elegant. Not too glitzy if you're thinking about Christmas and the Christmas parties and things like that. Make a nice skirt actually, wouldn't it? Like a pencil skirt would be nice in that one. So that's that. You can use that for homewares. If it was a jacket, yes, actually I would put a lining with this one because it's quite a loose weave, so it may twist. So a lining is going to help it be see-through, not be see-through, sorry, and it'll help. It'll help with the shape of your garment because it'll add structure to it as well. But you could make cushion covers out of that. That'd be really nice. So that's Manhattan. Then this is Asheville. Oh, Alan, your waistcoat would be very nice in that. Very country gentleman, this one. But again, you're looking jackets, skirts, suiting, that kind of thing. Or again, homewares, why not? And I mean, imagine a cushion cover with a little bit of lace. I love contradiction in textures like that would look amazing. That's £8.99. Again, that's for half a metre. 80% wool and 20% polyamide. And it's called tweed jacketing. So there's an idea of what you can use it for. Oh, a Scotty dog applique would look good on that, wouldn't it? Oh, with a jumper on, apparently. This is Hannah's idea in my ear. I don't know why. I was just thinking something very classy with maybe a little bit of black piping around it, and she wants dogs with pom-poms on. Just £8.99 for half a metre. I'm not even repeating it now. It's just Finally, we've got herringbone. This is called Hunter's Tweed. I don't know why. But it's got a little pink down it, which gives it a more contemporary than a traditional look for this one, I think. So the fine stripes here are pink. Very pretty. That's going to send your eyes silly, isn't it? So, a bag with that would be nice, wouldn't it? Maybe with a drawstring, a shoulder bag. You'd need interfacing on that again if you're going to use it for bag making, because it is quite floppy. But your H640 would be fine on the back of there, actually, or just some stiff interfacing would be good as well. This is £8.99 again. Hannah's getting creative in my ear. A triangular doorstop. So those are the tweed section. Actually, we've got some dressmaking patterns which would go very well with these. So this one is the long line jacket from So Different. This goes in sizes from 8 through to 26. Take no notice of that. Go by your bust size, which is in inches, 33 inches on the size 8 through to 50¼ inches on the 26. Have a look on the website. There'll be a picture of the back of the packaging on there, and that's got all of the details of sizes and fabric requirements and your fabric layout on there as well. So I love the style of the jacket. I think it's really versatile. It's very comfortable. There's always a little bit of a twist with Laura's projects from So Different. The pockets on normally, they look really tricky, but it's a real design feature. She's very clever at quirky little things like that, but simple to make as well. And a swing jacket like this, it doesn't have darts, it doesn't have to be really fitted, so you could even add or take away ½ an inch or so from the pattern to make it bigger or smaller if you needed to. So that one is your long line. Then we have the cocoon jacket, again by So Different. This one again, very flattering, very comfortable. Fabrics that she's recommending: medium and heavyweight wool, boiled wool, heavy cotton, denim, corduroy, gabardine felt, tweed and heavy knit. So denim or any of those tweeds that we had on the show for you would be perfect. And this has got a lining as well. And I like the contrast. Oh, now then, let's take a look what's coming. Oh, we've got two special things happening tomorrow because we've got a new presenter and a new guest. So do join us tomorrow with Rebecca at 8 o'clock in the morning for Pattern Preacher. She's got the Gabby dress with Mark Francis, another new guest. He's from the Sewing Bee. And then at 9 o'clock in the morning is Quilting Tools. At 10 o'clock there's the Eloise jacket, again with Mark. And at 11 o'clock is Fabulous Fabrics. At 12 o'clock you have a repeat of the show this morning, which was the makeup brush roll from the Fat Quarter books. So yeah, it's really exciting. We haven't made too much of a fuss, and I think we should have done. But yeah, brand new presenter for you. She's very, very experienced. You may have seen her guesting on Sewing Quarter previously. She used to work for Sewing Quarter. She was in the office. She's written patterns. She's a very experienced and accomplished quilter, dressmaker, sewer, and a very nice lady as well. So that's Rebecca. You're going to meet her tomorrow again with Mark, brand new guest, which is really exciting. So I shall see you again on Monday. So I'm off over the weekend. So do enjoy your weekend. Do watch the shows tomorrow and message into Rebecca and wish her well, because I know she's going to be a little bit nervous. So I'll be supporting her at home as well. And I shall see you again Monday morning. Have a good weekend. I shall see you soon. Bye-bye.